Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to DLD After Dark. My apologies to keep you all waiting. We are about to get into it tonight, and actually have a very important conversation. But before we do, we got to say what's up to all the channel members, and of course, we got to greet who was first. Dang old Matt, my guy, congratulations on being first. You, sir, are due at least one golf clap. Oh, that sounds dirty. Okay, we won't do that anymore. You're due at least one high five. Congratulations. Dang old Matt, my guy, who is also a channel member. We got Toy Town Inc., also a channel member. Also, make sure channel members sound off so I can go ahead and greet you and say what up. Toy Town Inc., my guy, channel member. 717, what's up, brother? Another channel member. We got Kurt 24. Great to see you. Kurt 24 on the last stream did not have a phone charger, okay? And he was literally stuck somewhere without a phone charger. So what he did is he brought his screen brightness down, put his phone on battery saving mode, and stuck around for the whole stream. That is commitment right there. My man Kurt, you're the man. I love you, bud. Kurt 24, also a channel member, of course. We got Gort. What's up, Gort? Another channel member. What's up, brother? Blue Curtain Burner. What's up, fam? Another channel member. And let's see, 717, Kurt, Johnny, Propane. What's up, brother? Another channel member. Let's see, let's see, Blue Curtain Burner, Johnny Propane. Did the Topo Chico make it? I'll get to you in just a second, brother. Yes, luckily the Topo Chico made it. I had a 0.75 mile long walk with it's a long story. No one cares. No one cares. I mean, I care. Rich cares. Most people probably won't care. Okay, Kurt 24. Z, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Dark, you have a minute to go. I was probably later than that minute. I am certain. Jeff Crom, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Another channel member, of course. Taco Syndicate. Taco Syndicate. My guy. Great to see you. Let's see who else we got. We got Kurt. We got Z. Rip Dango. Dangaj. How do you actually say your name? I think I say it differently every time. Rip Dango, Rip Django, Rip Dangaj, Rip, RIP. I just killed the club. Sometimes we'd be shooting up the club. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Rip, great to see you, brother. Flying Rich, member for 13 months. Did the Topo Chico make it? Uh, Erica, if you're watching the stream, yes, I got you. I can help you. If you just text me and are not watching the stream, then I'll text you later. But yes, I got you. So I was walking back and I dropped a 12 case of Topo Chico, and luckily, like by the grace of God, it made it. Yeah, it was a lot. And Rich was on the phone with me because can't walk around 0.75 miles with 5 bags of groceries without being on the phone with Flying Rich. Let's see, Kurt 24. Hey, Gordon, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Flying Rich, also a channel member, and check out his other channel, Flying Rich Firearms. Eagle Run 23. I'm sorry, Eagle Run 23. Great to see you, my guy, Eagle Run, who also has a great channel. Check him out. He's the man. And he's also doing stuff with like 8.6 Blackout. I don't know if y'all are into that, but yeah, check it out. Let's see, Flying Rich, Rip Dingle. Let's see, Eagle Run 23. Hey, Andy Lipsco, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Great to see you. Zanty Misfit. Great to see you. Another channel member. Key ASC. Dang, and we got Gordon became a YouTube channel member. Everyone, welcome, Gordon. I don't know if y'all know. Gordon was around like from the beginning, the inception of DLD. When DLD didn't stand for Destructive Liberty Device, it stood for Dark Light Dugan. I miss those old days. I miss Dugan. Love you. Wherever you are. I miss you, bud. Love you. Okay, Flying Ridge, Santi Misfit, Gord, Kurt, and thank you. Hey, for real, Gordon. I appreciate you, bro. You're the man. Welcome him to the Kim Light Club. Ishnifis. All right, the honorable mentions. Let's get it in. We got Ishnifis. We got Joe Morris. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Sport Brand, our favorite mod, brother. Great to see you. Let's see, Joe Morris. Just see who I missed. John Pauly, Uncle Pauly is up in here. Let's see who else we got here. Wesley Foster, great to see you. Tim Hopper. I don't know why I do it. Ron Bayer, what's up, fam? Great to see you. Too many choices, my guy. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Not my name. What up? Too many choices. 9mm for the win, and the NFA is adorable and all that stuff. 40 Smith and Wesson for the win, and the NFA is unconstitutional as applied to individuals. Really is applied to anybody, right? But I get the thing about the whole interstate commerce. You know what I'm saying? I get you. I feel you. I feel you, bro. Let's see. Anthony Smith, my guy. What's up, brother? Great to see you. And I think let's see, Dangle Matt. Hopefully you're still in here as well. Let's see who else came in. The NFA. Yes, sir. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Let's see. Sport brand. Common courtesy. Yoda. What up? I can't stay, but wanted to say, hey, Bice. Great to see you. Great to see you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So, hey, dang, not my name just joined the Chem Light Club too. Damn, look at that, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all y'all. So we're gonna get into a good conversation this evening. Of course, we're just gonna chill. We're just gonna kick it. We may even talk about this Benelli Super Vinci behind me, maybe, or not only talking about the Benelli Super Vinci. Did I say Benelli or Beretta? The Benelli Super Vinci, the Benelli behind me. But also, we're going to have a conversation about some Glock pots because there's been a lot of fuckery going on with OEM Glock parts. And, you see all the time, like all over like Reddit and stuff like that, where people post, pictures of their build and they got issues, they got their stuff literally falling apart, breaking, blowing up. And, we're like, hey, show us some pictures like under the hood. What's it look like? What kind of parts did you use? And they're always like, I use nothing but OEM parts. Well, did you? So we had a little bit of a conversation kind of starting, this conversation into this realm about how a lot of the market is scamming us, the community, taking advantage of the community to the tune of millions of dollars, literal fucking millions of dollars. And we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive into it. And today we got Benelli has the best commercials. You know what? I haven't seen Benelli commercials. I need to step my game up. And yes, it was a great video. If you guys have not watched this, please go to the Marine Gun Builder YouTube channel and watch the video that he dropped on the scam OEM parts. And it's filled with so much information. Even if you've never seen knockoff OEM Glock parts, just the knowledge that you'll get to confirm that what you got is legit is so worth it. All of that just rhymed. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into it with your boy, the one and only Marine Gun Builder.
What's up? What's happening?
Great to see you, man.
How you doing?
It's always a great time to have you on, man. It's just so much fun.
Yeah,
And
what's up, fam? Well, I see
chilling.
you got all of the great people in here tonight.
Oh yeah, man. It's
Yeah,
the usual suspects. Low Crow just crept in
sure.
here too. Good to see you, man. Good to see
Good
you.
special shout out to Flying Rich. I
Yeah,
mean,
man. That's
fucking
my guy.
what a patriot that guy is, man. And
Yeah.
Kurt 24, dude, you are
Mhm.
like, I mean, someday when we absolutely run the Glock world, man, we're gonna make you like the promo fucking director of marketing, man. He is just
Yo,
the
yes.
champion of the cause
He's
in
gonna be like,
every aspect.
yep. Yeah,
Love you,
he's
man.
literally gonna be the chief instructor, head
Chief
instructor.
instructor.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the executive of you're just gonna be the executive of everything. How about that?
Yeah, it's just gonna be like, go talk to Kurt, man.
Yeah,
Just fucking go talk
Kurt
to Kurt.
24. By that point, he may have upgraded to Kurt 25, but we'll
Oh,
we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see. Sport
yeah,
brand Fluffy Bunny Arsenal. What's up, fellas? I actually sent him. I had a little goodie package for him because he won. I do the giveaways and stuff all the time, and I threw in a set because I knew he had just recently picked up a Glock 48. So I
yeah.
threw in a set of the Ameriglow night sights. You know what I'm
A
saying?
fantastic set of sights.
Yeah, man, and he
Fantastic.
he deserves it. He is awesome. Everyone's showing you love. They're all like
Oh, Eagles
MGB.
Run. What's up, my friend? How are
Yeah,
you, sir?
he's got a hell of
Yeah.
a channel too. So
Yes,
now
he does.
I'm
Yes,
sure
they
most
do.
people here know who you are and all that, but if you wanna give a quick little intro and, we can kinda jump into, what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're talking about OEM, and if you don't know me, now you know me. Hi, how are you? But we got some serious stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
So, I think it's also one of the most misunderstood parts of our industry. I think a lot of people think they understand it, and they just don't know. They don't know.
yeah,
Right? I mean, I think that's my assessment of it. There has been, well, let's take a step back. There has been a, if you followed me for any amount of time over the years, you know that this is something that I've been on for a very long time, right? I
mhm,
wrote a blog post one time called Glock knockoffs versus OEMs. And
mhm,
that blog post had thousands of views, right? It was like the biggest blog on Google for Glock searches, right? Because it covered
damn.
everything. It was huge.
Was this based on the same kinda thing we're talking about now?
Oh,
Like
yeah. Oh, yeah. But you have to understand, so this was a couple years ago. What I was gonna say, though, is one of the biggest problems we have, because I used to have content on it too, like, we would do live streams like this, and I would talk about it week after week after week after week,
mhm,
right? And this is part of the problem with this whole removing information and everything else. It makes everything unsafe,
yep,
right? Because people can't get the information anymore, right? So they don't know, so they're flying blind. But what has happened over the last 2 years is beyond disgusting, because
yeah,
we're at the point now where these fake parts are cloned and stamped as if they're Glock.
yeah.
Do you
It's
understand
like
what I'm saying? See, it used to be they were just cheap imported Taiwan shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But now they want to deceive you,
yeah, and
and they
when you're
wanna
searching
stamp them
when you're
and
looking for
sell them.
stuff, if you
Yeah,
see a listing that says OEM parts, I mean, I could not tell you how many guns that I built. I mean, I posted a video of like 30 Glocks, a couple weeks ago. Like every time I was building one of those and I was getting parts for it, if I see a listing that says OEM parts, I'm like, oh, it must be OEM. It didn't
it's
even
not.
cross my
Alright.
mind.
Alright, so look, I'm gonna hit everybody here with something, okay? And a lot of you have been here a long time too, right?
Yeah, some for years, years.
How many companies do you believe or do you think sell 100% authentic Glock lower parts kits and upper parts kits? I'm not talking about selling individual parts. I'm asking how many companies do you think sell 100% authentic OEM Glock lower parts kits in full and upper parts kits in full? How many you think we have?
Put your guesses in chat, guys, and everyone else coming in. Fluffy Bunny, Mike McClune, all you guys. What up? Thanks for coming. Now we're talking about distributors, or we're talking about like
Where you could go right now and buy a low, let's say you want to go right now and buy a 19 lower parts kit,
Mhm.
OEM, completely authentic. Every part in that kit, all 12 components are genuine Glock parts. How many places can you go to right now to buy that?
Damn, John Pauly has no hope for the future. He said zero. So most of them are saying 3. So some people are using percentages, 3%. So 3, 2 to 3. Blue Curtain says 1. John Pauly has no hope for the future. He says 0, 2 to 3, 12, 2, 1. Ishnifis says 1, maybe 2. Now, a lot of these guys have been in the build community for way longer than even Polymer 80s have existed,
Right,
right?
right.
These guys
They've been
were
running around.
putting together AKs at build parties in the 90s and shit.
Yep. So I want you to think about that. Okay. I want you to think about the question that I just asked.
Mhm.
And you're seeing these numbers very low. There's less than 10. Okay, less than 10.
Less than 10 individual companies.
There are less than 10 places that you can go and buy 100% authentic lower parts or upper parts kit. Less than 10. Now, how many people sell OEM lower parts kits and OEM upper parts kits?
Thousands.
Hundreds and thousands,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
the people that know that have been here a long time, but there are really less than 10, okay, that you can actually buy that from. And out of that, most of them don't ever carry it in stock,
yeah.
like where they're actually making a kit, right? Because
And some
Glock
of
does
them,
not sell an OEM lower parts kit. Glock does
yeah,
not sell an OEM upper parts kit.
yeah.
Okay.
They
As a Glock
sell,
dealer, I can't go to Glock and say, hey, Glock, give me, 50 G19 Gen 3 lower parts kits.
yeah,
That's not how they do it. They're like, no, here's your order form and order 50 of all 12 items for your G19 lower parts kit and
yep,
all 12 items for your upper parts kit, right? And
yeah,
then wait 6 to 8 weeks for us to send it to
yeah, at
you,
least.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's how that works.
What's
Okay.
up, Marconi?
So Midway, yes, but the thing is that Midway is really an individual parts. So when you think about, look, so Midway, Brownells, Big Techs, right? These three are great.
Mhm.
Marine Gun Builder, right?
Heyo.
But those three probably the most well known. All OEM parts, all good to go, fantastic. But they don't always sell kits
Yeah,
because somebody's physically in there got to make it,
yeah. Because 'Cause they're ordering
and
these individual parts
so a
in
company
case
like
you need them.
Midway or a company like Brownells or Big Tex is a little smaller. They're a mid-tier company, family owned, great business. But the reality is that 9 out of 10 times you go to these places, they don't have kits ready to go because they're not wasting time having people put these and assemble these kits together to go sell as a kit. They make more of a margin selling them as individual parts. So why would they do that?
Yeah,
Right. But sometimes, as a service, they do that for people for convenience purposes,
yeah,
right? Like this is why you can buy a complete lower kit or a complete upper parts kit because before all this building came along, you literally had to buy each part individually and
yeah.
assemble it yourself.
Well, and we were
But
talking about, like, depending on what's available, because there are really only a few options, literally a few options for buying parts like that in bulk for, distributors and by the way, for people out there, and the whole purpose of this isn't to pimp MGB's store, but just so
no,
you guys know, to take
absolutely,
all the guesswork out of it, MGB has an OEM Glock part store. So
yeah,
let them
yeah.
know while we're discussing
But
this where they can find it.
look, the truth of the matter is, though, I can't keep anything in stock. The minute I post it, it's gone. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
I put the stuff on my eBay store, gone, right? I
yeah.
mean, I literally, I cannot put enough stuff out. Speaking of which, is Bob here? Bob's like the number
Yeah,
one customer on the MGB store. We love
yeah.
brother Bob. Brother Bob's great.
He was just
Um,
I just saw him a second ago.
yeah,
Bob
he's
is the man.
fantastic,
Yeah, there
great
he goes.
patriot too. Yeah. So look, when you have that, it's tough. Like Brownells, Midway just had some for $79.99. Gone. Right.
Complete
I mean, they were like gone, then replenished, gone. Right. So
You're talking about complete LBKs for $79.
yeah, they had them for $79.99.
Dang,
They were
that's
wiped
actually
out.
not bad.
Right. But it's hard because the margin's hard. Like, so I sell them for $84.99 on eBay because I got to pay them a cut. But on my website, I sell them in the 70s, because they don't have to pay them that.
Yeah,
But it's hard to find real authentic parts nowadays.
yeah,
Okay. And so 3 things. Number one, we're not talking about somebody going, because I think people lose sight of what the issue is here. We're not talking about the $30 kits that are sold, the $40 kits that are sold that everybody knows are a knockoff. We're not talking about that. And I'm not even on them. Okay.
yeah.
That's not even my beef. Like if
Because
somebody
they're
wants
not
to go buy
saying
that, good for them. That's
Yeah.
not my beef.
They're
That's
not
it.
saying they're not advertising that they're
Correct. They're
OEM.
not saying it's OEM. They're saying, hey,
Yeah.
look, we imported this shit from Taiwan. It's $30. You want it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. As a consumer, as patriots in our community, people can make that decision.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
And sometimes it's between like, okay, I could build a couple, a couple Glocks if I go this route, or I could build one if I go this route, or these are just shooters at the range for fun, and
Right.
this is my EDC. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
So
a personal decision,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm an advocate to just build guns, but build them safely. But that's a different conversation,
yeah,
right? And then, so that's number one. Somebody wants to go do that, fine. Number two is we're not talking about performance parts. We're not talking about, hey, I got a Boogeyman Customs trigger or an Apex, setup. We're not talking about those are performance parts.
yeah,
They enhance your experience with Glock. We're not talking about that.
yeah,
What we're talking about is sellers telling you you're buying genuine OEM parts and they're duping you and they're charging you the premium price of OEM when they
hmm,
have bought them from Turkey and in Taiwan for 30 cents on the dollar.
yeah,
And here's the thing, they are unsafe.
yeah,
They forget about the fraud, forget about the deceit. Okay, bad enough, terrible, right? You call yourself a 2A fucking company, terrible to do
yeah,
that to consumers and to our fellow patriots.
hmm.
But they are completely unsafe. And that
It,
was kind of the point of the video that I tried to put out this week was like, yes, this stuff's going on, but these are completely like they don't belong in your gun for fucking 10 cents.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Now the fact that you're lying to people and charging them full price is just you're jeopardizing everybody's safety over what, $10, $15, $20. I mean, what
it's
is what
crazy.
is their life worth?
It is
You know?
so. It's a very, very challenging feat to make a Glock not drop safe, and they're achieving that by doing this shit. So,
Well,
Kurt,
so look,
it's
this is
actually not a
not
site, just real quick. Sorry, my bad, MGB.
okay.
It's actually not a site. It is MGB's eBay store. So if you go
Oh no,
on,
you can actually go to marinegunbuilder.com. We're
oh,
just
okay,
getting our payment processor up. But I
okay,
have the notification squad. You go join that email because what I'm gonna do, because again, the minute I stock it, it's gone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it to the notification squad first before I put anything on eBay or
mm,
anywhere else. I'm gonna let community members on my email list get them before anybody else. So if you go to marinegunbuilder.com, you scroll down, like I said, the payment processor, we always have to have a freedom payment processor, right?
for
So
sure,
that
yeah,
won't be on until next week, but you can go scroll down to the notification squad, put your email in, and then you'll be on that notification squad before I
nice.
post inventory anywhere else.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So everybody, make
Mm.
sure you go to marinegunbuilder.com, sign in so you can actually get notified before the whole world knows that genuine OEM Glock parts are
Yeah.
available. But this way, you take out the guesswork of like, am I getting cheap Taiwanese shit that's out of spec? I mean, some of these dudes on eBay are selling these shits for 110, 120,
Yep.
and they're
Yep.
fake. Now,
Absolutely.
some
100%.
of the companies don't know. Some of the companies are getting duped themselves,
Yes.
and some are not.
Yes.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, no. I mean, they're all fantastic, great, and truthful points. Like, guys, you don't understand that the fake OEM to OEM like average is like 10 to 1 right now. Like they have completely flooded everything. But anyway, I mean, look, so here is a fake Glock 19 trigger. And look, you get this in a kit and you're like, oh, okay, it's got a ribbed face shoe. That's the Glock 1926, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And this comes in your kit. This is in my opinion, the most unsafe trigger I have come across in I don't know, a very long time. A very long time.
Is it the
Because
bend in the cruciform or what is it?
well, let me get an actual Glock OEM out. How about that? So you have to understand that so how many safeties are in a Glock? 3, right?
3,
We
yeah.
know we have the 3 safeties of a Glock. So let me just get this off for a second, and then we'll go through some of the differences here. All right, so this is a genuine OEM trigger. Okay.
Thank you, Kurt, by the way.
So here's a genuine. Here's the knockoff, genuine. Okay. So when you think about the 3 safeties of the Glock, right? You think
Mhm.
about this piece right here,
Yep.
right? Nice and tight. This is an OEM Glock. Nice and tight, good retraction, no
Mhm.
lift in the front.
Yep.
Like I can't push it up, no lift, and very tight squeeze, right? Keeping you what? Safe.
Yep.
Now we look at this bullshit, okay?
And that was marketed as an OEM trigger?
This comes in OEM kits as an OEM, yep, SPO numbered. Glock 19, Glock 26 OEM trigger
And
being
it's
sold
fake?
everywhere, 100% fake.
Wow.
So, well, but again, at first look, it doesn't look. It's got a ribbed face shoe. You're like,
Yep.
oh, okay, that's a 1926, right?
Yep.
All right, but so let's talk about the safety aspects first. This has spacing. Like I can lift this up.
I
Okay,
saw that on your
it's
video.
completely loose. Like there's nothing, no tension here, nothing. Okay, so major safety, right? Well,
Yep.
what's the second safety is going to be in your slide as you're firing pin safety, but
Yep.
that interacts with what?
With the plunger.
With the shark fin right here, right?
Mhm.
This is rubbing up against the shark fin.
Yeah.
So you have this safety here, fucking faulty. And then you have this. But the geometry is completely wrong. The geometry is completely different.
Oh, shit, I just blew it up on my screen.
Yeah,
Bro, you can tell immediately.
right. The geometry is completely wrong.
Do
Okay.
they do they do that on purpose to reduce the trigger pull weight, or can they just not dupe the shit properly? I love that you have a Glock punch behind your ear, by the way.
Oh
S
yeah, yeah.
somebody pointed that out earlier,
It's either that or
and
a crayon, one or the other. Yeah, one or the other usually.
that's hilarious. I think that was Tech Money who pointed out, which Tech Money, you're the man. He's been
You want
around
to talk about
forever.
an old school patriot? Yeah, that
Yeah,
fucking guy's been around since like way back in the day.
day one.
And always been a great supporter too. So anyway, this trigger, right? The geometry is completely off. Right now, I don't know why they machined it that way, but they did. I mean, I don't think it was for any significant upgrade. I think they were trying to get as close as they could,
And they couldn't.
and they couldn't.
Yeah,
And to them, geometry, smeometry. I want fucking money, right?
yep.
Because understand, what does Glock do? Right? Why do you choose Glock?
They have an entire process for troubleshooting, for QC, for safety. I mean, they have several different processes for it to go through before it goes even to inspection to be
Mhm.
put, in a OEM bag with a sticker on it.
Yeah. Safety,
Yeah,
quality control, and safety. Do you know how long this Glock trigger's been around? 40 years of
yeah,
testing
yeah,
and trust and reliability.
yeah.
Why do you think all of your great, great, great trigger people out there, like Johnny Glocks, like
Mhm.
Boogeyman, what do they all do? They use the Glock OEM trigger bar, and
And
then they
upgrade the shoe.
customize the shoe, or they start to customize their own geometry, but they start with an OEM trigger bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so we have this safety junk. We have the geometry on the shark fin, completely gone. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's get into the sear.
Which the best case scenario for that, by the way, is your gun won't fire.
Huh?
If you're the best case scenario with that is that your gun won't fire. If the shark fin
Uh,
isn't fully engaging the plunger all the way up, your striker isn't gonna be it will be obstructed. Or worse, depending on how the geometry is off, it will make it not drop safe. So you're
yeah.
running around with a Glock pointed at your sack all day with a gun that's not drop safe.
Waiting for the problem to happen.
Yeah.
Waiting for it.
Could you imagine if
Right.
you're carrying appendix, you're in a car with a seatbelt on, and you get in a car accident, and you crash into something, and you get your ball sack blown off at the same
Right.
time?
Right.
Jesus.
Right. So anyway, this has those two problems right up front. Okay. The shoe is also two pieces, where a Glock shoe is one solid piece. You can tell. You want to bring me up full screen just so I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
see it a
I
little bit
was
better.
there you go.
All right. So this is the fake one. So you can see, I mean, look how terrible their little fucking pin setting is. You know,
Yeah, and
it's awful.
that's a clamshell, right? That's
It's two pieces coming together, which is why all this is like loose and ridiculous.
sloppy
Right?
and
I
shit.
mean,
Yeah,
listen. That's a
yeah.
safety, man. That's a safety. All the fucking things. Anyway, but then you get back into the back of it where you have the sear here, right? And so this is
Mhm.
coming up with your firing pin is here. Um, it's kind of dark in here. But anyway, your firing pin is here, but and you have to have 2/3 coverage. This is like flat almost. It's not really. Is a weak attempt to bend it towards the very end of it. Whereas if we look at an actual OEM Glock, let me see if we can put this up here. You can see on an OEM Glock, the bend starts here and
Yeah,
comes up, right? It
yeah,
ramps up. It's not like somebody took it with a fucking thing and just bent it, right?
yeah,
It ramps up from the center point, which is the strength in the middle of the cruciform, which,
yeah,
by the way, has the big dot on it, right?
yeah.
And this does not. So that's one of the ways that you can tell. I'll go over a couple more, but that has just like a little dimple, and that's it.
Mhm.
Okay. So your engagement is not going to be correct
Yeah.
with this. So that's three safeties in one piece that are faulty and going to fail. But then let's get to the to the spring, right? You can see this is a Glock OEM. You can see on a Glock OEM here, the way the hole is set, it's an oblong hole, and then it's got two protrusions on either end where the hook
Mhm.
of the spring goes
Is
in,
supposed to rest right in the middle.
right? The hook of the
Mhm.
spring goes right in there. So if I take a spring, um, and we put a spring on,
And I hear people all the time talking about like, "Oh, I built a Glock," and of course they put stuff together with, tolerant stacking with like 5 different companies, which is fine. You can work your way around that, but one of the issues I hear about all the time is light strikes,
right?
you know?
So your spring is going to really sit deep into that protrusion that's there, right? It's going to lock that spring into place between those two portions, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, look at this fucking disaster. It's one big circle.
Oh my
And it's
god.
straight. It's not bent. It's just a straight circle, right?
Is there even a
There's no,
little dent in there
nothing.
for the spring to rest in there?
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
Wow.
Well, yeah, let's maybe get a little bit of a closer look at this because the unsuspecting person doesn't know. And you know how I know the unsuspecting person doesn't know? Well, number one, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And number two, I've dealt with companies who are Glock, who sell Glock firearms and wanted to start selling parts because they were approached by these fucking people.
Yeah.
So they bought a whole bunch of parts for them and started selling OEM parts on their website for
And
me to
they
tell
don't
them
know.
they're
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
you think
anyway,
we'll ever get to a point where we start to talk about what companies do? Well, we should talk offline about that.
um, so look, what we're going to do is continue to educate, put out these. I'm going to put out a whole bunch of series of posts with illustrations. It is important that everybody here shares this information, that you pass this on to your forums that you're in, wherever they are, your groups that you're in, that you're sharing this information, because this is a safety concern, right? This isn't it, again, the deceit and all that shit is terrible that those companies are doing it, but really the problem here is there are a whole bunch of people that are walking around. Well, again, we see them in the forum, right? We
Mhm.
see them come in to things like Reddit. We see them all the time. And they're like, why is my firing pin breaking? Why does my gun fucking shoot like it's an automatic? Why can't I get this trigger to reset? I'm using OEM parts. And it's like, no, you bought something that said OEM, but those are not OEM parts. And
Yeah.
in every one of those instances, those people are like, they feel betrayed. you
Yeah.
know, like you risked my life and I bought this from you, right?
Yeah.
So the companies will be taking care of themselves because the more we educate and we show, and people start looking at their shit and they're like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
I bought it here and this isn't real. And they're going to start to call these companies. We don't
Yep.
have to say nothing. They're going to
Yep.
start to call them and saying, you charged me $99.99 for a fucking lower parts kit, and it's completely, not OEM, and it's
Taiwanese.
unsafe.
Yeah.
I want my money back. I don't care that I bought it a year ago.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
fucking lied to me,
And this, you guys are getting all the information literally that just okay. So this MGB is, and we've talked offline about this like ad nauseum. Like we've constantly been talking about this because this is a serious issue. Like when companies do this with fake Louis bags and fake Gucci bags, and they companies start getting hip, then they start putting fake date codes on there, date codes that check out when like they're run by like authenticators and shit, right? When companies do that, they like the feds knock down their door, they get arrested and shit. These people, and nothing is going to happen to them. Well, at least as it stands now. And I also don't, whatever. I don't care for any regulation of any, federal state entities at all. I'm just saying that like this is a problem that's being totally unchecked. But we're giving you guys the ability to help friends, family members, people to take down a Glock and be like, "Yo, I see that you're, below the cruciform where the spring attaches. It is a straight punched out circle with no dent and no wings, and this shit is not OEM, right? So if you're having problem, boom, right?
look what it can do in a fake trigger. Look, it's got nothing stopping it,
It could literally
right?
like pop out
You
of
can
there.
do ring around the rosy with it. Nothing.
Dude, that's
Right?
terrible.
It is beyond terrible. Right? It is, yes. And you're absolutely correct. Like, fucking eBay will like authenticate Nike sneakers.
Yeah,
God forbid somebody buys knockoff Nike sneakers, you know? But all right, so a lot of other problems here, though. I mean, those are just a couple. So all of your resets are missing. So if we look here, we call this the bird beak, right? For anybody who's
hmm
kind of new, it kind of looks like a bird, right? And if I get, and this is a knockoff that I'm showing you, okay? But so let me get this right here. This is a genuine OEM, um, right here. Let me bring it up. And if you look on the bird's beak, you can see you've got two notches on the bird's beak
yep,
right below it, right? One here and one down there. This is helping you with your reset. You also have the cutout at the top of the bird's beak, again, helping you with your connector interaction,
yep.
right? Now, if we look at the clone, they totally don't give a fuck if your gun resets or goes off and fires in fucking automatic. They don't care.
Mm,
There's nothing on the top here and nothing on the bottom to help with resetting
dang.
whatsoever.
So you just got a slippery beak
That's
cracking
it.
against your connector with
Yep.
wow.
And then they make it worse by the bar itself. So you can see this is the fake one on the bottom. They
Mhm.
have this cutout, this hump up here that's creating a lot of drag,
Yeah.
where you can see on an OEM, it doesn't have that. An OEM has one notch here and one notch way up here up front. Okay.
And
This
on that really quickly, just before you move on, you'll see a lot when people have like shit that's out of spec, when you pull the slide off their shit, you can look under. Now this one doesn't have it, but you'll actually see contact points where, shit's scraping and shit. When shit's out of spec, you'll see contact points under the
absolutely.
slide and on the parts where shit is rubbing way too rough where it shouldn't be. What's up, Warsaw? Yeah, I'll talk to MGB. I'll see what the deal is afterwards. But yeah, go ahead, MGB.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I'm gonna we'll stop at at this, okay? Because there you have to understand that when I put out information, there's big money here. And so these cloners take this information and they try to correct what I say to pull one
Yeah,
over on
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
Okay. But that was my, the other thing is that you guys are not going to do that. So there are many other little pieces there. But I guess the bigger picture though is I want you to understand it's every part. I'm talking about the trigger right now.
yeah.
But
We
it's
went
mag
over the
buttons.
trigger bar and shoe. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all we've gone over.
that's it. It's
Yeah,
it's mag release buttons. Okay. It's slide stop levers. It's
yeah,
slide locks, fake slide locks, right? All stamped. All
yeah,
stamped incorrectly, but all stamped. All
yeah,
right. It's all your springs. Same thing. Right.
yeah,
So we're gonna, again, we're gonna put an end to it. That's for sure. We're
yeah.
gonna put an end to it.
Well,
Um,
I think one of the coolest things that you've done is providing an alternative for people to get trustworthy OEM Glock parts, no question. And look, let's be honest, you're not making a lot of money on that, right? It's
yeah, I'm guys. I'm just a regular person. I don't have a
yeah,
big company. I box the shit myself. It comes from me. I know Bob has been a customer of mine. Like he'll tell you, right? I mean, it's you get what I do is more of a service because I customize your OEM kit. So
yeah,
it's not just an OEM kit. Like you want me to put a Gen 4 ejector in for you, I do that. You want a Gen 5 injector, I'll do that. You want a 19 parts kit, but you want the 17 trigger shoe, I do that. You want a extended kit on your PF45 for a 20 or a 21, you want to run
yeah.
extended controls on that, I do that too. You want a variation where maybe you want a 17 with a Gen 5 ejector and an extended mag release, but the regular slide stop, I'll custom create that for you, do all the installs, and I assemble the parts for you. So when it comes, it's been assembled personally by me. Your trigger group's assembled, or if you're doing an upper, your firing pins all assembled, your plungers all assembled for you, and it's just drop in at that point, and you're ready to go.
Assembled
Um,
by an actual Glock armorer. And
yeah,
and also, like, if someone's putting together, like, let's say most people are probably doing P80s and OEM lowers and shit like that, but let's just say that somebody's putting together a Freedom Wolf, right? They need a Gen 3 parts kit, but they need a Gen 4 trigger housing and a Gen
yeah,
4 magazine release and a Gen 3.5 locking block. And so having that like as an option to kind of custom build what you need, like that's dope. So
yeah,
um
yeah. Yeah, the biggest thing is to get on that email list because, like I said, I basically create kits. So I get my orders from Glock. I have them kind of staged. They're every 2 weeks on a Thursday, the way I've staged it.
mhm,
And I put together maybe 50 kits a week, and that's it. And so they go.
yeah.
So yeah, so I would get on the email list and just tell me what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
And as I create them, I'll post them.
One of the things we were talking about, because so many companies are, putting these kits together, they're going and they're buying, some of these OEM parts and some of these OEM parts, but they don't have a full kit. And some of the
Yeah.
resources for Glock parts, like some of the parts were unavailable for, like you said, 8 months, right? So one of the
Yeah.
things we were talking about is like there may be some OEM parts in the kit that you're buying, right? But then they throw in a few cheap, knockoff parts just to be able to complete the kit and get them out, you know?
So a lot of times what they do, and by the way, I'm just going to say this. Since my video came out on Friday, I've noticed 2 companies removed fake Glock OEM triggers from their website.
So I was gonna bring that up. I didn't know if you wanted
Because
to.
they knew the wrath was coming.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it, but
Uh,
you you're already you're making yourself, you could potentially be making yourself a target, like
hey,
even
I'm
if.
already one. Fucking
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, target
you know.
for
Uh,
all the agencies and now all the companies. And AP38, good to see you, bro. And I do you want to talk about a company that tried to slap you with a few negative things and
oh yeah, stay away from Granger Tactical. The guy's a fucking snake. Stay
oh
away from.
shit.
He's a complete snake and a complete disgrace to our entire industry. Complete disgrace.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
he's
Damn.
complete disgrace.
Okay, I didn't know we were gonna go all of
Oh
that,
yeah,
but
fuck him.
you
Glock
said
Store is same with
Granger.
Glock Store is that they sell only Glock that's in their name, but they're pricey. You know,
Yeah.
that's the big thing, but they are 100% OEM genuine parts. At
Now,
Glock Store.
when you can talk about it as much or as little as you want. When you posted your shop, your name, obviously people come to you because your name, they trust you. They know that when you're a personality like this, like I've had people hit me up and be like, "Oh, you have DLD hardware, you sell jigs and other stuff, right?" Which I'm going to start putting some other stuff for Glock builders on there too really soon. So if anyone needs anything, go to DLD hardware for like jigs and some other building stuff as well. But for like OEM parts and other Glock parts, go to MGB, support him, and just go to marinegunbuilder.com. But when you came out, people started coming to you right away, buying from you. People started hitting me up. Bob hit me up and was like, "Yo, is this actually MGB, or is
Yeah.
this somebody using his likeness to gain from it?" Right? Um, and then a company bought shit from you, canceled their orders, and then hit you with negative feedback on all the
Yeah, I
transactions.
mean, companies are gonna come after me, right? They
Yeah,
always have, and they always will. They're gonna come after me because I am ruining their fucking, their scheme,
their scam.
right?
Yeah,
So I become a target, right? So yeah, I've had them target me, telling, saying, "Oh, well, he's a Fed." That's a big one, right? MGB's a
of
Fed. Like,
course. Yeah,
Feds are into teaching millions of people how to build firearms. That's
how to
that's what the
build
fuck
guns.
they
Yeah,
do, right?
we're all
So
feds.
so that's one. The other one is, he sells fake shit, but I'm the only one in the entire industry educating anybody on what it is. So imagine me selling you something that I told you was fake.
Was fake.
How
Yeah,
fucking
right.
stupid, right? I'm the only one doing that. But, they'll go in and they'll say whatever because they have to undermine me to keep their scheme going, right? The problem is that I put it in writing, and I put it down in illustrations, I put it down on video, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is what it looks like. So you can go say whatever you want about me. The fact is that did they sell you a bad fucking part? Because if they
Yep.
did, that's
Yep.
that's proven. Those are facts. So
Yep.
I mean, I know that they come after me. They're like obsessed fucking teenage girls. But I understand there's a lot of money in it. I
Yeah.
got it. There's a ton of money that they are making, because look, there isn't a lot of money in OEM parts kit reselling,
Because
which is
you're
why
buying
there's
them
not a
from.
lot of people doing it, which is why, going back to that beginning, there's less than 10 companies that genuinely put time and effort into creating those things, because even in wholesale, OEM parts are expensive and they're hard to source,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Do you remember
Because it
that?
takes time for Glock to send them to you. So the way that they make money is by throwing in or mixing matching parts or just selling you, to the point we're at now, an entire fake stamped kit
Yeah.
that literally they imported from Turkey or Taiwan for pennies on the dollar,
Yeah,
you know?
most of these, you guys gotta understand, most of these are, cheap Taiwanese kits that these guys are buying, by the hundreds or even by the thousands, right? And they get these for, 15 bucks and sell them for 30 or 40.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously it depends on how many they're getting, right? But one day they're like, "You know what? Why sell for 30 or 40 bucks when I could sell it for 100 for a few extra stamps on it," right? So the problem is that people are going to their phone and they're looking at like, okay, Gen 4 connector, what's the stamp? Okay, set that shit down, go over, and they look at their stuff. They're like, "Oh, that's what mine says," and then they think
Right,
they're okay, right?
right.
Or not connector, ejector, and then they're not
Yeah,
looking at
all
the
the
two
ejectors
side
are
by
fake.
side.
You
Yeah.
know what fucking drove me crazy?
Thank you, Kurt. By the way,
Here's
he's
what
been
drives me crazy. Here's what drives me fucking bananas. Bananas is the entire market of fake Gen 4 ejectors,
yeah.
stamped and fake. Like if you saw my Instagram post on that, they stamp them and they're fake. And I'm the one who fucking brought that to the community. I'm the one who taught everybody that upgrade.
Yep, yep,
And it's like you motherfuckers, like you took something I did that was positive and you're
yep,
scheming on everybody. You know, it just fucking boils my blood. Like
yeah, yeah,
that one fuck you was enough to make me like say, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
yep,
I'm gonna
yep.
push this information everywhere I can. And we have an army of people that are willing to call you out on your bullshit.
Oh, yeah, now they know.
You know?
Now so there's videos out, we got live streams out, we got parts out. They like, our people are gonna know the font that the stamps are in, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, no, that
Yeah.
shit is Times New Roman, bro. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
with that." You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, what's gonna occur though is everybody's gonna do a parts dump.
Mhm,
They know who they bought their shit from, and
mhm.
they're gonna be pissed. Because that's what happened when we put out the post the first time. Only then they weren't stamping the parts like they are now.
Yeah, yeah,
Now they've gotten more sneaky. And they weren't as bold to sell an entire kit and try to pass it off as 100% OEM. And
yeah,
now they are,
yeah.
right? Now they feel more comfortable and emboldened to do that. But yeah, that's coming to an end. We're going
Well,
to
and the
educate.
companies, like we talked about earlier today when we were on the phone, it was like companies could just be like, "Oh, fake? Those are counterfeit parts. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
better speak to my, acquisition department to
yeah,
determine,
right.
like, bro,
Right. Our purchasing department must have made a really bad mistake.
yeah, right. Yeah, bad mistake. Oh, these
Yeah,
parts are, 35% of the cost of our last order. All right.
right,
Like, doesn't
right.
that raise a question?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's not funny, but the sad thing is that there's 3 places that you can get genuine OEM Glock parts.
Yeah,
Glock and two of their wholesalers in the country, and that's
yeah.
it, right? Like, if you want genuine OEM, no bullshit,
In
that's it.
bulk.
That's
Yeah,
where it is. Yeah, in bulk, right?
yeah,
That's where it is. And so, you know, uh, if you if you're in the firearms industry and your purchasing department comes to you and says, "We can get these, we can get these triggers instead of $10, from Glock, right?
mhm.
Instead of paying $10 from Glock or 10.25 from the one of the wholesalers, we can get them for $2.50."
Yeah.
And nobody there is saying, "Huh?
Hmm.
Who's got them for $2.50?" Because
Yeah,
Glock themselves sells them for 10,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And they don't care how many you order. You can order
yeah,
10,000, it's still fucking $10.
yeah,
Like that's what
yeah.
they charge. You know what I mean?
P38 Wilbur says Chinese conspiracy. to compromise our national security. You know, I wouldn't put it they just want money. Warsaw Patriot says Timu Glock, Timu Glock. I guess Timu's that new like basically AliExpress kind of thing. And
Yeah.
was it Benchies or who said that? Johnny Propane said bootleg builds. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. You know, these are they're counterfeit, right? And look, you guys work hard for your money, okay? Look, and fuck money. But the reality is that we have to acknowledge the world that we live in, okay? And say, we need money to live, okay? So you guys are taking your money and you're spending your 99, 110, $120 sometimes on an OEM lower parts kit. And when you get them, you look at them and they're stamped. And you're like, look at this. I got an OEM parts kit for you
Yeah.
know, and then you find out half the shit or more is counterfeit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm just getting over pneumonia.
Yeah, man, that's brutal.
The other the
G23, what's up, brother?
I feel the deception is terrible, don't get me wrong, and I'm
Yeah.
pissed about that, right? Especially because this is us, man. Like, we've already got enough people fucking coming for, anybody who loves freedom, right?
Yeah, and
You're gonna do this
especially
to your
people
own
who
people in your fucking community. Like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here, right?
yeah,
You're
terrible.
worse than them, in my opinion. You don't belong here at all.
Well, and how
Deception.
long did you think that it could go on? You know what I mean? Like, for the people out there doing it, it's like, yeah, you may have had a little come up, but for how long, right? Because eventually people are gonna be like, "Hold up, something ain't right," and then everything is gonna come out, and then you'll see, like you said, these sellers, these companies, they start pulling their shit down, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh," you know?
And a
It
whole
it
lot
can't
more are
last
gonna
forever.
gonna start to do it, and there's gonna be a big backlash because listen, I've had already in the past. I pissed a very big company off one time, and they hired a whole fucking marketing team to come after me. Like, they hired a third-party marketing company to
Damn.
fucking attack me, right?
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm used to it, right? I'm used to it, but I don't, again, I don't serve them. Right? Like, you're doing something wrong, I'm gonna say something about it, you
Yep.
know?
This is
Um,
this is exactly so similar to a situation I was talking with, John Crump about, something a company was doing, right? And I was right there when he was having the conversation. I won't name the company, only for some legal reasons, but he was having a conversation with the company, and the company was doing something not good, and he was gonna break the news. He did break the news, but there was some stuff that happened afterwards. So just to be safe, I'm not going to say anything to put him on the spot. But the guy was like, "Do you have any idea what you're going to do to the firearms industry if you put this information out?" And you know what Crump said? He said, "I don't represent the firearms industry. I
right,
represent the firearm owner." And
correct.
it was like, boom,
Yeah,
fucking
mic
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 drop.
drop,
Yeah,
right. But
yeah,
understand that there's very few people like him.
yeah.
He's not a selfish person,
No,
right?
no.
He's there for us,
And they
right?
offered him a shopping spree on the house, whatever he wanted, whatever
But
he
dude,
wanted.
even when you read his articles, just the way he writes, he's talking to you.
Yeah, the
He's not trying
individual.
to appease somebody. Do you
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? He's
yeah,
talking to you like, "This is what you need to know,"
yeah,
right? And which is why he's so well liked, right? Because
yeah,
because genuine people like that are uncommon.
yeah. I'll tell you, fuck it. The article went out, so I guess it's fine. But he was talking to Franklin Armory, okay,
Mhm.
and Franklin Armory had an issue with their BFS3 trigger for their AR-15s. The ATF had classified the BFS3 for ARs, only the one for ARs, as a machine gun.
Of course.
And apparently there was a part that at a certain point after usage or after if it were damaged or something, right, that it could become a machine gun. That's what the GATF said. So then, being that there was a white paper circulated about it, Crump was like, I gotta tell them, right?
Yeah,
And they're like, "Oh no, please don't, we'll do anything." I mean, literally offering to bribe him, telling
yeah,
him, go to our website, pick out whatever you want. You can just pick whatever. So after basically he said, "Golf, I don't represent the industry. I represent
Yep.
the individual firearm owner." Right. After that, even though it's kind of a funny thing, um, me, Crump, and a couple other people all went and because they were trying to give a very expensive trigger, the HK binary trigger. It's like $700.
Mhm.
And he was like, "No, no, I'll just buy them." So me and Crump, we all bought them. Now it's also supporting the company, but it's
Yeah.
also a fuck you to be able to just
Right.
bam, you know? So it's kind of funny, but that's the last,
Yeah.
Franklin Emery, product that I'll get. So,
Yeah. Look, I mean, he's a person of integrity,
yeah, yeah, which
right?
is rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare.
Um, so anyway, I guess we're at the point where so I'm gonna take all the old blog stuff, I'll put it on into a new publishing. But a lot has changed, like I said, even from that data that I put out of every single part back then, they've gotten smarter and they're trying to be more deceptive. There's only one reason, my friends, why people who make fake Glock parts would take the time, the machining necessary to stamp a part.
Yep,
And it's because they want you to believe it's something else. Otherwise, they would just give it to you without a stamp. They wouldn't
yeah,
spend the money in the machinery and in the injection molds to try to pull it over your eyes. They wouldn't
yeah.
do that.
That's money. You know
Right.
that every single time that machine stamps that metal, that costs money. You know.
Right. So they're actively trying to dupe you, you know. And unfortunately, Glock's not going to do anything about it, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
they're not going to fucking chase this down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do all the work for them because I'm gonna show all the differences of what's happening. But
So that's
um,
one of the things that we discussed too, to kind of touch from a different perspective. Like we had kind of compared it to like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, like all the other high end stuff that's being counterfeited constantly, right? And very, very good counterfeits, right? They
yes,
have date codes, they have stamps, I mean, date codes
yeah,
that when you search them in the Louis Vuitton database, it will
will come
show
up
up as
right.
that, yeah, right? But they're also stamping the same date code on, like, every, you know, blue damier duffel, whatever, right? Like, it's they know, but anyway, and yeah, I used to rock Louis before I woke up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys. But basically, places like eBay and these other third party platforms where people can come sell, they start to regulate them and they put in a service that says, okay, you can't post this for sale until it's been authenticated. And we have a third party authenticator that costs like $6 or whatever, 10 or whatever dollars, that's going to review it, look at the date code, check to make sure it's legitimate, and then you
Yeah,
can post it. The last thing that we want is if this is brought to light on a massive scale, and it already is, it needs to be for safety reasons, for you guys to be able to have builds that are reliable and good quality and will outlive you so you can pass them down to your kids and all that, right? But we need to also understand the other aspect of this, that eBay and these other places may be like, "Man, I don't wanna get involved with that. I don't wanna get involved with the liability of this. I don't wanna get involved with authenticating, metal stamps and shit like that." What do you think they would do, MGB?
yeah. Well, I mean, eBay isn't gonna start authenticating Glock parts. It's just
No,
not what they're gonna do. If anything, if it became something that was a pain in their ass, they would just stop selling firearm parts altogether,
just shut
which
it
would
down.
be a disservice to our community, right?
Yeah.
Um, Not Glock, I mean firearms in general. All of the people doing Glock there are fucking deceptive practices, right? Big time, big time. I mean, Granger Tactical just took my dealer logo and my 100% thing and started making his own listings under another fucking account. Like he's just a dirtbag. But there's a ton of them like that, on eBay that are just dirtbags, that have no original ideas, that are just scum. They try to tarnish other people. They attack other people. And if they put that same amount of energy into actually their own business, they'd probably be very successful. But they
Dude,
can't,
I've
right?
I've bought shit from Granger before. And another funny thing that I noticed about Granger on their gun broker, they will actually, so let's say they have like, 200 stripped Glock 19 frames, right? They'll post them, but they'll post like four listings. They'll post one of them at like $175, then another at like $119, then another at like $75, and another at like for I bought a Glock 43 OEM lower from them, and it was like $34. Like they're doing whatever they can just to like flood they're
Yeah, but
like
don't
why.
don't worry about him. I'm gonna deal with that in a different way. But the thing is, so getting back to it, eBay's not gonna get involved in authenticating Glock parts. They don't care, right? But all of these companies do have their own websites, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They operate outside of eBay.
yeah, yeah,
And there's other companies that are not on eBay, again, that are also selling these things, and some of them don't realize it, or they're pretending they don't realize it.
yeah,
They're remaining ignorant to the fact. But the fact is they're still doing it. They're still party to it, right? It continues because the money is flowing to it,
yeah,
right? The duplicators, the counterfeiters wouldn't be doing it if they weren't making money and there wasn't a lot of demand for it.
yeah,
Okay. So, look, I think that, like I said, the best strategy is to just illustrate all this, which is what I've been working on, illustrating every part, pointing it out, looking at it, saving things to myself,
mhm,
like give enough that you can easily call it out, but not everything because they're going to switch their practices. You
yeah.
understand what I mean? There's money here. So they're going to go to the limit to make sure that they can continue their fucking heist,
Yeah, I mean, when you get kind of put out like that, you have two options: stop doing it and lose all of that revenue,
Yeah.
or do it better, hide it better, get better at stamping, get better at uh, copying these parts, right? And then just take a little bit of a loss on the additional time, energy, money, machining, and that stuff that you put into it. So,
Yeah.
if anything, what's happening, it may push them to get better, which would be unfortunate, but that's a possibility. But I think you're also going to scare some of these businesses out of production.
Well, enough of them are not going to buy it because they're gonna feel the wrath on their customer base,
Yep. Yep.
right? Their customer base is gonna be pissed, so they're gonna start to, you know, think about what's the risk. Because listen, all the people in our community, we belong to hundreds of groups. We love
Yep.
this shit. This is a lifestyle. We live it,
Yeah.
right? We're,
Every day.
we're everywhere, right? Like
Yep.
we're here on a fucking Tuesday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern because we love this shit.
And we got
You
like
know?
60 people in here right now just chilling, talking about stamps
Right.
on metal ejectors.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's the beauty of it, man. And you can see, like, dude, some all it takes is one person to go to Reddit and post something. Yo, is this good to go? Boom, and it's just the floodgates open. Then it's on Facebook, then it's on YouTube, and it's on Instagram, and it's on Twitter, and
yeah,
it just blows up. So
yeah.
any company out there that is doing these things like with nefarious intent, that are pulling the wool over these people's eyes and they're tricking them. And I'm sure I'm gonna go back through my, I mean, it'd be a lot of work, but I'm gonna go back through my shit and check to see what's OEM. I also use a lot of Shadow Systems parts, which pretty soon here, Shadow Systems LPKs will be available on DLD hardware.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But if you want OEM, go to your boy, marinegunbuilder.com. You can go to his store and or his eBay store as well. But if you go to Marine Gun Builder, you'll be able to,
Yeah.
find his shit.
I want to just really quick, my friend, just really draw that out a little, very clearly. 'Cause I
Hmm.
said it already, but I want to say it again. We are not talking about good aftermarket performance companies making their own parts.
Yep,
There's
yep,
plenty of them that make their own Glock parts, and they test them, they manufacture them, they work hard to make sure that they perform the way they should, and they enhance and try to build on top of what Glock has done. We're not talking about that.
yeah,
We're talking specifically about very shitty parts that are unsafe, that are being sold and branded as OEM genuine parts, and
yep,
they are far from it.
yeah. Osgood brings up a good point. He says any customer is going to file fraud claims for
Yeah.
fake parts.
Yep.
I mean, could you do that? Could you literally like file a lawsuit against them?
Could be a clap. Of course, you're jeopardizing their safety. Of course you can. You
Yeah,
know, I think that it's out of control. It's out of control. So, what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks as we put more and more information out is these companies are going to have to decide what their risk and liability is.
yeah,
That's up to them. They want to continue to do it, then fine. But the information is going to be available again.
yeah.
You know,
Even seeing you go through and be like, look, you can take your fingernail and drag it down the trigger bar. And if you don't feel these indentions, like this is this, I mean, it's an art, right? Like it's,
yeah.
most of the shit, the moment that it sets in your hand, you could be like, oh, this is not legit.
Remember last time I was on, I showed you, a legit Gen 4 ejector as opposed, a legit one as
Oh,
opposed to
yeah.
the other one. It
You
was
could blow it
stamped
out.
very close, right?
Yeah.
Tough to tell. So they are getting better. But here's the thing, I'm just talking about triggers. It's every piece. It's every piece,
Yeah.
right? So even people that like are upgrading their trigger to something else, but they think they got OEM parts. And they're like, oh, I bought this fucking, Apex trigger and it doesn't fucking work. You blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's because you're using it with fake fucking OEM parts and it's meant to
Yeah.
work with OEM parts. No, I bought OEM. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You got beat by a scammer.
Yeah. You got robbed.
You got robbed.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to upgrade, better parts, and it's not working, and it's probably not even the fucking part.
Yeah.
It's because you're starting with bogus OEM parts, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so much. It's so much.
Sandwich Chef
So much.
says, yeah, dude. Then I spent 3 hours fitting it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man. So
And
what
good
do
for
we have?
him that he knows how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Most
know?
most people don't. Like, and
No.
look, as I grow and become an older man, I'll tell you what, man, I got so that Gen 5, the Gen 5 Glock 45, the one that I put on the Lipsy's exclusive Battlefield Green frame. Um, I took it out, right? And I was shooting it and I got that new Glock Performance trigger. It's a Gen 5 trigger, factory OEM Glock performance trigger. If you guys are gonna buy them, straight up, only buy them in the plastic. Only
Yeah.
buy them like sealed in the plastic, right? Because otherwise, you just you don't want to deal with it. Um, here we go. I'll show this real quick. Where'd it go? My bad, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so me just being an old man and I know how to do all this shit, right? I like you and I have had in-depth
Yeah.
conversations on building and shit like that. So I took this new Gen 5 Glock 45 out, the one that's ported, and I tried to put the Gen 5 performance trigger in it, and it wasn't working, right? So instead of taking the time to actually troubleshoot it I took it out and put it in my 19X and it worked beautifully. So I was like,
Right.
okay, whatever. But the parts in that slide, right? Right there, the parts in that slide, I was under the impression that they're OEM because I bought it from a dude. It's an OEM slide, OEM barrel, OEM. So I just figured the rest of the parts were OEM as well, right? So I don't know. Maybe I mean, maybe it's not actually OEM. You know, it's a possibility that it's not
Yeah.
OEM.
Well,
Let me
so the
make sure this.
firing pins, they got a fucking seam that runs along the entire length of it.
I saw
Like,
that.
yeah, like, you wanna know why so many firing pins are breaking.
Dude,
It's a fucking it's a tragedy. Alright, my battery's gonna die.
okay, you're good.
Yeah,
I will just say this really quickly. The tip of the striker shearing off of the firing pin is like one of the most common things with
yep.
aftermarket shit, especially slides that are out of spec as well. So, all right, before you roll out, anything else you want to say as we wrap up here? Oh, did I lose MGB? Oh, did his battery die? Oh no. Let me see. Is that his service or his battery? We'll give it 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think I lost him, unfortunately. If he comes back, I'll put him back up. I got him backstage now. But that's the crazy thing, man, is like we put so much time, energy, and effort. A serious face. That was a very serious face. Oh, it clicked. Oh, come on. Um, we put so much time, energy, and money into building reliable firearms using pieces that, parts that we trust from, companies that we trust. There are companies that I've bought from on eBay and Gunbroker and these other companies, even Granger. I've bought a gang of shit from Granger, right? But only like OEM frames, like stuff that it's these guys aren't knocking off OEM frames and shit like that, right? Because sometimes instead of doing a polymer 80 build, I'll want to put together an OEM Glock, like for the 19X, for that battlefield green thing. Let me show you all this real quick. This thing, I got a video too. Look at the fireball on this thing. So at the front of the muzzle, you'll see that little donut flame blowing out of there. And then the 4 ports on the top of the barrel just boom. I mean, the concussion from that thing from a tiny little 9 millimeter is nuts. But that is the flattest shooting shit. I mean, it's incredible. Also, for anyone that's looking like, look, if you don't want to dump the money into an RMR and you want something that is like good to go and solid, the new Holosun SCS. I wish I could just grab it right there and show you guys. I'm sorry, YouTube live streams are whack. Um, the Holosun SCS, bro, it is the truth. Anyone out there that has a Glock MOS and they're considering putting a red dot on it or green dot, whatever, if you're considering putting a dot on it, go to a shop, go to a gun shop, go to a friend, whoever has one, right? Get your hands on an SCS and look at it, preferably mounted on a pistol so you can see what I'm talking about. One, it is incredibly rigid. Like it I would say it is damn near it is right on the ankles of rigidity with an RMR. It is solid. There's no more, um, uh, whatchamacallit, on the hood. There's no more solar panel on the hood. That's now on the back underneath all the way at the rear. So all the way back here near where the rear sight is, I'm actually not running a rear sight on this platform, but that's where it is, super flat, out of the way, so you can turn the thing upside down and drop it and let it just crack right on a hard surface, and you're not going to run into to an issue like you would with a 507 or 407. Now those things are still supposed to take like 8,000 G's of force. I don't know if I believe that honestly, but that's what they're rated at. And man, this thing is just a blast to shoot. And the SCS, look, I got 507s, 407s, an RMR. I'm actually looking for a secondhand RMR. If anyone has one, hey John Crump, we were just talking about you earlier. But the other cool thing about the SCS, before I forget, is because it doesn't have the battery in there, the biggest benefit of this is that it does not have a replaceable battery. So you don't have to constantly replace the battery once a year, every 6 months, whatever your battery schedule is for, for red dots and shit, especially if it's on a carry gun, right? Um, it has an internal battery that is charged by solar, and the shit is like 100,000 hour lifespan. Even Holosun, for the production line that is out right now, they have not been able to kill it. That you would have to put it in a pitch black gun safe for 2 years or more to literally turn it off. And this is probably one of the only platforms that I would trust the auto adjustment on, because the light sensors are that smart on it. But anyway, because it doesn't have that battery in there, it can sit so much lower. So you don't have to use, suppressor height sights or, red dot height sights. You can literally just run a standard set of sights, and boom, you're done. Here, let me pull up this other picture. Those ports, look, I am not a dude that is, you know, I don't get my guns ported. I don't, I honestly, when I saw this, oh, well, this is the wrong one. Well, that's the gun right there. I actually have it on a different frame now. It's on the Battlefield Green frame. That is the 19X frame. But let's see. Let me go back here. Dang, where the hell did it go? Okay, no, that's the same one. Hold on, I'll find the other one. But because it sits so low, you can just run standard sights with it. You don't have to worry about suppressor height sights. And I cannot tell you how many times that I've had like Safari Land holsters, for an example. You may have a perfect fit in your Safari Land holster, but if you run and go put, suppressor height sights on it, depending on what type of holster you have, if it's SLS or ALS, or if it's a combination, ALS, SLS combo holster, the moment you put suppressor height sights on there, that shit may not fit. So being able to put standard height sights, one, it opens the window. So you have way more clear of a window when you're firing, unless you have a gigantic fireball in front of you. Um, I was planning on taking that ported barrel out and just running a factory like OEM barrel in there, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. That shit does not move when you fire it. Like, it is one of the flattest shooting. It's a 19x 45, whatever you want to call it, right? It's a 17 size grip with a 19 slide. And no, you don't need to port. Like, there's no need to port a 9 millimeter, right? There's absolutely no reason to port a 9 millimeter. But damn if that shit isn't cool, right? So I'm probably gonna switch it up. And oops, let me go back here. I'm probably gonna switch it up, and I don't know. I may run some rounds through it with a standard barrel just to see. But the thing's a blast, man. I have loved it. Now, the other thing that happened, unfortunately, I was waiting on the Gen 5 polished Gen 5 19 slide that's going on the gray Lipsy's custom Glock, right? These are all OEM assemblies. I don't want to call them builds because, I'm not building them. I'm not drilling and milling and removing material. I'm taking OEM frames. These are the Lipsy's. I got the Battlefield Green, right? And then I also got the gray. I think it's like Battleship Gray, Gunship Gray, whatever it is. It's gray. It's dope as shit. 3 gray magazines. The polymer is actually gray. It's not coated, it's not Cerakoted or anything. And, then the Battlefield Green one too. The Battlefield Green one, I put the, that upper, the ported upper with the black multicam and the Holosun SCS. Uh, the polished chrome or stainless colored one, I was gonna put on the gray. But unfortunately, and I bought it from MD Arsenal. Shout out to MD Arsenal. They are awesome. They did absolutely nothing wrong. But when I tracked the package today, it said that it was delivered last Thursday. I was like, "What? What? No! Like, I didn't receive shit. Like, what the fuck?" So Anyway, we're looking through. I pray to God, please. I'm hoping that the mailman put the shit in the package locker, right? And didn't put the key in my mailbox because it's townhouses, right? It's like the mail ones are separate from the package ones. And if you have a, you know, mail, they just throw it in your ship. But if you have a package, they put it in the package locker. I'm hoping that it is still in there, that he just did not put the key for that locker in my mailbox. Otherwise, there's like a $450 one of a kind hand polished Gen 5 Glock 19 slide, complete slide, polished barrel. The dude did excellent work on it. But again, that's not MD Arsenal's fault. Like they absolutely did their part of the transaction, right? My part of the transaction was just to receive it. I'm hoping that someone else didn't get that package or that it went into the wrong mailbox and they were like, "Ooh, Glock slide," you know? I think we have like a 55% chance that they oh, here's MGB. We have like a 55% chance that whoever got it was a gun guy. So let's see. MGB said, "Sorry about that, bud. He was gonna go." Okay, let me just send a quick message to him. Boom. I just wanted to thank him for coming on real quick. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And by ATF rules, you're manufacturing what so technically not by ATF rules, the frame itself is the firearm already. So when I do the transfer for the frame and bring the frame home, I already have the firearm. So you can't turn it in to a firearm again. It's just the frame, it already exists, you know. I understand what you're saying though, by their, you know, by their crazy definitions. I mean, who knows? Maybe tomorrow they'll have a completely different explanation of what manufacturing is. But assembly is manufacturing in the eyes of the ATF, or what we like to call the GATF. MGB, I'd love to talk with you someday. Yeah, I can make that happen. You know, he's a good dude. He's chill. FN USPS leaves ish halfway down my driveway. Lazy F's, dude. I know, man. And I feel terrible because my mail dude is like so good, man. I literally tip my mail guy. Okay, the dude is awesome. I bring him out waters and drinks and stuff, and so he would never do anything like that. But I think that there were some days that a different mail carrier was coming because like he would be here by 11:15, boom, 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 every single day, no question, right? But then I think somebody else came in a few times. I saw a different guy out there, and then I started getting packages at like 6:30 p.m. and shit. I'm like, what? Like, what is this shit? So yeah, there's that. ETF says, "Don't tell me what my rules are. I have or haven't decided what they are today yet." Yeah. I have 2 free classes. Nice, man. Nice. Dude, if you want, Bob, you know what? If you want to set up something, you we could do a double class. Obviously, it'll just count as one. But if you want, me and MGB will do like a double team class and do Glock assembly, building, maintenance, clean, whatever you want. GST 9 class, a Polymer 80 class, Freedom Wolf class. Bro, Freedom Wolf got shit on a lot, but I actually like the frame, and I've come to like the Freedom Wolf frame even more. Um, but yeah, tag team, back again. Feds posing as male terriers, DLD. Oh man, or Tannerite dogs. Let's see. Your new mailman looks like Ray Epps. Oh man, y'all are terrible. I want to see if I can get this video to you guys. Let me see. I may. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to sync all my photos. Let me see if I can do this. Give me 1 second. Oh, actually, it may be. So I put together a new video. Let's see if the iMovie is synced. That way I can actually. Hold on. It's pulling up. And no, it is not synced. No, I don't want to get started. Okay. So quit iMovie. Maybe I can just see. Oh, actually, dang, I got to go over that with you guys. Oh, I was like, why is there no audio? Hang on. Maybe I'll just show you on my phone. Yeah, hold up. So you may have already seen some of this from the Instagram post the other day, but hold on. Right in the center. Oh, come on, bro. That performance trigger is fast, bro.
Hey, no dick was touched today. For my butthole.
Get away from my butthole.
Ain't nobody touching that butthole. Sir, I have my wallet right here.
So that's a little, just a little sneak peek. I'm going to be posting that. I don't know. I may even post it tonight. I'm going to have to bounce it a little bit, but for all the people that were like, you're getting a sub 1 second draw to first shot, I highly doubt it. Picker, it didn't happen. Like, bro, come on, right? Like, so we're doing a couple different things. So obviously, if you just have your hands down at your side and you're drawing, you're going to be faster. If you stage your hand on the gun, you're going to be faster, right? If you're going from hostage, you're going to be slower. So we were doing all sorts of different types of things. We were doing it from hostage, right? And if you're going from hostage, the hostage position, to reaching, unlocking your holster. So if you're rocking like a Safari Land, oh, and actually, somebody asked me. I brought it. Okay. I've gotten so many questions on this holster. They're like, Dark, bro, that thing is like a massive like brick. What even is that? SA? Shout out to Gerchop. Um, so this is the Safari Land SLS. It's got the QLS fork in the back. Okay. This is a super, super limited run. They made these for Army Rangers. And the reason it was a super limited run is because they only made them for DLD After Dark viewers. I'm just kidding. The reason it was a limited run is because these ones, you can tell it's a real Ranger, Safari Lane Ranger, if it's got the three buttons on the back, because this was supposed to actually snap into their carriers, right? But a lot of people have asked me like, yo, like what is that? So this is the Ranger Safari Land holster, and it is SLS only, so self-locking system only. So this does not have the secondary ALS thumb release. What I would like in a perfect world was in this rig to have the SLS, which is the hood, right? Now it's got inside, I don't think you can see it. Let me see if I can use my Goon Beam. Okay, so those little rails right there, the frame of the gun actually rides in that. Really, the frame and slide go in between that, right? And it holds it really, really, really tightly. And you can, of course, torque the retention and stuff too. But then once it's in there, it's not locked in there. The thing that locks it in is the SLS, which is the hood. That's called the self-locking system. Hence, self. I mean, really, the ALS would make more sense because it's the automatic locking system, but that's the click, which is the little thumb pedal that you press. So the SLS ALS holster is SLS self-locking system, right? And then you still have to press the ALS button on the way out, right? That disengages the automatic locking system. So when you're drawing from a holster like this, you need to disengage your lock, right? So if you're drawing from hostage, okay? Beep, it takes you usually around zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5 seconds to realize that it's beeped, right? Then you need to reach down, grab your shit, unlock your holster, then draw it, make sure you've cleared. Like some people, I see them firing from the relief cut. It's like, don't tase me, bro. That's funny. Did you post the pillows for sale yet? No, I totally got thrown off because I had to change a lot of things in the store. If I posted the store as it was, I would have been sued, likely by the largest firearm manufacturer in the world. So I had to make some changes, and in making changes, some other things happened. CRS Firearms was sentenced, so there's going to be something honoring him going up there, and some other things. So it's almost done. It's almost done. Like I didn't even want to stream tonight without having it ready, but it's almost done. Okay. I also have a super dope thanks to hey, what's up, Damien Christ? Good to see you, bro. I also have a super John Crump. Crump was the one that brought it up. They brought it up to me. I was like, hey, do you think? Yes. But I mean, they probably wouldn't. Don't do it. I mean, I think I could get away with it's not worth it. Like, bro, they just sued. Oh, well, you already know. They would have sued me 100%. They just sued Polymer 80. They just sued all sorts of companies for millions of dollars. So yeah, I can't do that. But one of the things that I was gonna do. So this I took shout out to Sport Brand because dude, he helped me big time with this. I took um I took I told him that I wanted a Pepe the Frog, but I wanted a Pepe the Frog with nods and an AR-15, and I wanted him to look like a straight goon, right? So I did this thing. I took the Pepe the Frog that he made, and I took this thing and I made it. Took the Pepe the Frog with nods and the AR, and I put build more guns, and then I put DLD hardware and DLD After Dark on YouTube, and I'm getting these printed out as stickers. So this is going to be the next DLD sticker, I guess, because I officially ran out of the ATF stickers. Hey, the end is near. Beware. What's up, brother? Are you still selling the P80, not P80 brand jigs? So I do have both available on the website. If you go to DLD hardware, I have Polymer 80 jigs, and I also have the DLD hardware jigs. Good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute. Marconi, great to see you, man. I know I saw you earlier. I said, "What's up?" Damien Christ, great to see you. Hope you get that slide you were looking for. And may we not forget the Damien Christ replicates movie guns. Okay, like so he sees a gun in a movie or in movies, and he's like, I want to build that. Like this dude is built like Blade Runner guns. He's built like Tomb Raider guns. He's built what's the movie with like fast zombies and what is it? Dude, I'm sure with the chick. The movies, they made like 3 or 4 of them, something like that. He's working on it for me. So he hit me up. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Your name. Agorizer, watch out for the day that you get what? Resident Evil. That's what it is. Tomb Raider. Resident Evil. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. He's building a Resident Evil gun. Yeah, see, all you guys are way smarter than me. I always wanted all the guns from the town, bro. So actually, most of those would be really easy to to put together. HK 416, AKS 74U, a Bullpup Wasser 10, and 12.5-inch FAL. Now those were all machine guns, right? Um, I think they took two aluminum 40 round mags and duct taped them together on the 416, which was kind of crazy. You don't really find the aluminum 40 rounders too often. RS, what up? Thanks for joining. And then also the SIG 226 when they got in the fight outside the graveyard. Oh, and what gun was mentioned in the town but never used in the town? Can you remember? Can you remember? The Brad Pitt movies. Jungle mags are the coolest. Oh, bro, I've got a couple. One of my go-tos. I think I got one right. Yeah, I got one right here. Here's the trick. Here's the trick. So a lot of times when people get magazine connectors, or if they just straight jungle style duct tape them, right? You can just 3D print a block and then just duct tape around it. That works too. Stacks of paper, tape around the paper, and then boom. As long as you have a block to separate them. The problem is that what happens is the spacing. If the height is off, then a lot of times your second mag can block your ejection port and cover controls and all that. So you got to space it out properly. So what I do, is I take a 40, and then I take a 30. And then if you put the 30 on the right side, you'll never, ever, ever, ever block your ejection port. It will always be lower. It'll give you clearance and it won't get in your way. And it's pretty light. This one I ran all the XM193s in the 30 on the 30 side, and then realized that the 40 is full of frangible. The other thing, okay, so for an example, this is a quick way to get 75 rounds in your gun. 76, really. 76 rounds. How do you mean? It's a 40 and a 30. It's a 45 and a 30. Take another look, okay? Take a look. It's in a book. DLD bow. So this is a 40 rounder, all right, with a Strike Industries +5. So this is actually 45 on this side, 30 on this side, one in the pipe. So you got 76 rounds. And with the binary, that thing runs. So here's some of the things I was gonna smart. SMRT, smart. Bart Simpson, shout out. The DLD Universal Jig is out of stock. Do you know when they might get? So that's one of the things that I have not manufactured ever since the bridge frames came out. Because holy God, I mean, I've sold. I don't even know, 2,000 bridge frame jigs. I mean, it's crazy because Polymer 80 made a mistake and they did not include a way for their customers to drill the second locking block pinhole. So that's why DLD hardware existed, because one, the ATF was like, you can't include the dang old frames and jigs together, right? So that was the first thing. So we were like, okay, then F you, I'll sell the jigs, right? And then, other companies don't have to worry about, like, what do I do? Do I get out of business of selling parts and frames and all this stuff and sell jigs? Like, no, because the ATF said, if you engage in the business of frames and parts and all that, and you start a jig company, then that's circumventing the whatever. So it was like, all right, I got to step in to do my thing, right? And I've had a blast doing it. I've been able to help the community, help people fucking build guns. Like that's that's me, right? That's like the whole reason I'm fucking here anyway. And then when the bridge frame came out, they did a lot of things poorly, right? Of course, adding all the shit in the trigger housing area, like that sucks, right? But that's something that you can work past. That's something you can work through. Use hand tools. Don't use, a Dremel to just clean it up because it will not be clean if you use a Dremel. It will just melt shit all over. And then when you're done, you're gonna have to go in there anyway with a bunch of hand tools and razor blades and files and shit to clean it up. So but even after that, right, and the nubs in the front locking block area and all that shit, you still need a standard jig, and you need a single pin jig after that to drill your second locking block pinhole. And they were just like, no, just they'll figure it out. They'll either not drill it at all. Like what? You're telling that they're not telling anyone anything actually, which was another problem. But I get it. They were under a lot of legal pressure. But I've heard stories from the 90s and the early 2000s of firearms that didn't have a second locking block pinhole. And if you guys remember the Kaboom Glocks, what that was 40 caliber Glocks that were literally exploding because Glock thought that they could just convert it to 40 cal, right? And not account for the additional PSI in the chamber area and the locking block area. So that's when Gen 3 came about because they added the second pin, and then the 2 steel pins with the steel locking block reinforced it enough to not explode, right? So my fear was that people were going to get these frames and start building a bunch of guns, either running an assload of 9mm through it and then it blowing up, or building some people shoot 40 for some reason, or building a 40 cal and shooting it and boom, it explodes, or building a 357 sig and boom, it explodes. So not drilling it and not utilizing a second pin, like I want all the pins. I want all the pins to be able to support the firearm, right? Anyway, the that's taken all of, I'm sorry, I forgot that I was answering a question through all this. So the end is near, beware. In summation, hey BV Luminous, good to see you. In summation, I haven't been able to focus any time on the manufacturing of those because everything has been put into standard jigs and the single pin jigs. One day they will be back, but it'll probably be months from now, honestly. Just to be earnest with you. Genius move at the time. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's I honestly, I don't look at it as like, oh, like for me this was a genius move. I looked at them like, what a fucking idiotic move. you know? They'll figure it out. Yeah, like no, don't do that. Don't make them figure it out. You figure it out. Your company, your frame, your parts, your rails, your like what? You want them to figure that out? Like that ain't right. And then how many people built them and didn't hear about DLD hardware, right? Like how many people did not get a single pin jig? You know how many people I saw that ghosted that pin? You know what ghosting it is? When they were doing these the plastic molds, what's it called? I always forget this term. Injection molding. When they were doing the injection molding, because the mold had a little spot where the pin was, it was kind of like dimpled. So people would literally put the drill bit right on that little ghost hole, which it wasn't a hole, it was just kind of a little seam where the hole was supposed to be. And they would literally just freehand it, just try to get it all in that one spot. And you would see just, the drill bit would run off and it would be like sideways and the holes would be all jacked up, man. Yeah. So, one day I will definitely get back to it. DLD After Dark, my Dremel job on the ATI Mill Sport 9mm carbine bolt to run the Fostech Echo was a 7 out of 10 job. Hell yeah, 7 out of 10. I'll take that. I heard 40 and had to drop back in. Yeah, right. Dude, hey, I ain't got nothing against 40s, Every now and then you may see me rocking a caliber that starts with a 4, right? Not too often. You may even see me rocking a caliber that starts with a 3. That zippy fast 357 SIG. I rock those. I'll rock 45 ACP. I recently got a 1911 back in my collection. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it though, man. Honestly, I'm not the kind of dude that sells guns, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it doesn't do much for me, you know. And I got the new Galco, whatchamacallit, the Galco, Miami Classic 2. Jiminy Crickets, sorry. The Miami Classic 2, which is the shoulder rig. It's the concealable shoulder rig. And it's nice. Like, I could literally be wearing like dress clothes and throw that on and throw a suit jacket over it. 1911s are very thin, they're very narrow, and they carry very well. I would be down to rock that, but I don't know. Drawing your pistol and having 7+1 in an officer-sized 1911 officer grip with a commander length. Yeah, I don't know. 7+1. It's supposed to be 6+1, but you know, these are the SIG mags. So 7+1, and then 2 mags on the right side. So another 14 rounds. So 22 rounds total. Yeah, I mean, most days I need 0 bullets. So I'm sure 22 rounds would be okay. But in the event that I do need a firearm, I would much rather have a smaller, lighter firearm with way more capacity. Just being honest. Benchies go boom. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I've never fired 357 SIG. Always wanted to. You should. 357 SIG is a blast. No pun intended. The Glock 33 that I got, that thing is a fire breather. And it's also a single pin design. I don't think you're supposed to, like, for an example. Hold up. Ugh. When you get a GST9, right? This is the and no, for all you guys out there, I still have not done this yet. This is the white GST9. Shout out to 80% Arms, because you guys know us influencers get all this for free. Psych! I bought this, bought the jig, bought everything, I bought all that shit. People say it all the time, like, oh, like, I'm sure you got that for free. Like, no, bro. Like, I buy the shit, you know. A bunch of these tack knives. I bought most of these, you know. I buy these because they're dope, right? Some of them they sent me for free, you know. But honestly, almost all the shit that I got that they sent for free, I use them as giveaways for you guys. And have another giveaway coming up, but I got to find what milestone to get. So like I'm at 4,265 subscribers or something like that. Let me see. Take a look. It's in a book. Excuse me. Okay, load. Come on, son. Jimmy Crickets. Okay, so I am sitting at 4,263 subscribers. I would really like to be like, okay, come on, PLA, Bobcat Gang Gang. I don't want to be like, oh, at 4,500, I'll give something away like that. That's who knows when we're going to be there. I definitely don't want to be like, oh, at 5,000 we'll do a giveaway, because I'm going to do a more considerable giveaway, right? Like, you know, I know I always give away like a lot of like OTF knives, because tack knives has been awesome. By the way, yes, if you use code DARK, you get 10 or 20% off. My bad. 20% off there. But even I got so many other things. And who was it? Anthony, you said you got a Halo clone or something like that. I missed one of your messages and I just saw it today or yesterday. I don't recall. But yeah, the Halo, bro, this thing, what? This has got to be one of the coolest OTF knives out there. And I got a bunch of OTF knives, but bro, this thing, I used to sell them for tack knives because, man, these things, single action. So you literally got to cock it. Like, that is how stout this thing is. This system is too large to have a double action firing mechanism in there. But dude, it's solid. If you were to buy the actual Microtech, this thing is like $750. The special edition ones are like $2,350. It's crazy. but this one is like 100, or sometimes you can get them for less than 100. But they don't sell them. Tack Knives does not sell them anymore directly. I don't know, Anthony, where did you get yours? Yeah, dude, this thing is dope. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's no pocket clip. So the only way to carry it is actually like rig it up, whoop, put it on your belt. It's got a little Kydex jammy like that. So right now, carry it like this. When you draw it, you just swoop like that. Thing's badass. Love it. But things like that, I'm considering putting in the giveaway. Some other stuff like those OTF box cutters, something like this, I could put in there. But also, now that we're in a safer place, like right now, we're actually able to, buy and sell frames and jigs and rails and all that shit. I'm like, he said you. Damn, bro, my bad. I actually sold a bunch of them. It's hard for me to keep track. My bad. He said you. Yeah, he won't sell them anymore. I think early on he was. So Tech Knives is really just a based ass dude. Okay. This is just a guy running a company, and similar to like MGB, he's just a dude, right? Trying to sell. Same thing for DLD hardware. I'm just a dude. Like, people don't realize that when they place an order, it's just me, right? I'm the one printing everything. I'm the one fulfilling everything. I'm the one packaging everything. I'm the one that's literally shipping it out every single day. Literally me, just me. That's it. I don't pay for marketing. I don't pay. The only thing that I do is I talk about it from time to time. And you guys know I barely bring it up on stream too, um, but 30 off. Yep, hold on. I got the Benchmade Infidel. It was my first expensive OTF. Nice. Dude, that's a great knife, man. And I mean, OTFs are kind of limited in what they can do, right? Like, I would do way less with this than I would with, say, for an example, this, right? Like, I would beat the dog shit out of this, use it as a pry bar, and baton through wood with it, where for some utilitarian stuff, this is great. And maybe if I needed to, absolutely needed to, in a self-defense situation, this, I would feel way better beating the dog shit out of this than I would this. You're limited by the system. Okay, so for this, when you open up a knife like a cold steel knife, right? This has the triad lock that was designed by Andrew Dimko, and what it is depending on the knife's size, right? So that pin right there, depending on the knife size, see how there's a gap in between the blade and the locking mechanism. There is, I think this one is like a 4 millimeter pin right there. Now, all of the pressure that is applied to this blade, if you're hacking and chopping, and really it's not made for that, but I'm just using this as an example. You can kind of tell by the geometry of the blade what this is made for, and it's for cutting meat. We'll say that. But you can literally sit there with a mini baseball bat and just thwack, thwack, thwack. And when you do that, it's not banging the blade into the locking mechanism. It's all that force is transferred to that pin right there. So that's why these knives are able to just have a considerable, like a huge amount of force, so much more force applied to it, because it's basically all being absorbed by that pin. And then when the pin fails, then basically you're right around the corner from your knife breaking, right? Now, that's just kind of a quick like example, right? Murphy's Law, what's up, brother? But this for an example, so I'll use let's use the stubby. I like the little stubby. So this is the stubby. This is by Tack Knives as well. Again, if you use code DARK, you save 20% off. So when you launch an OTF, what's happening is the spring system is firing the knife, right? Or firing the blade, and the blade has a locking lug in the middle, okay? Now that locking lug goes past the point of the little flippers inside, right? And the two things that are holding this blade are pieces of steel that are like little, think of pinball, right? Is it pinball? Pinball, is that the one where it's got the two little flappers at the bottom where the ball comes down and then you right shoot it back up? Those two little flaps are the things that are holding that blade up. So at a certain point, if you're just using this for like you know, light utility work or soft targets, right? You're going to be fine. But all OTFs, every single OTF, even the crazy expensive microtechs and the infidels and all that, there are some restrictions on what they're able to do because it's the system. It's not the quality of the knife. The quality of the knife and steel, obviously, the better the steel of the actual flippers. That I don't know what they're called, okay? The little locky thingies, all right? That's flapper locks like on an SKS or an HK. Y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean. Um, but I mean it's limited by the system, right? So sorry. I got Civivi Elementum in S35. My favorite knife right now, small enough for gym shorts, but it's not too small. Those are very light as well. Those are good knives. And Civivi is the more economical brand of We knives, something like that. Um, I forgot, but there's like a parent company, and those are the more economical ones, and they're great knives. Civivi is a very good knife. For me, knives are a tool that like I'll never leave the house without a knife. It is a tool, but at the same time, it is a tool that can also be used for defense or offense or a situation like that. Murphy's Law, great to see you, bro. Lineman knives at hardware stores are underrated for self-defense, for sure, for sure. DB Koopa, what's up, bro? Just got my assault flashlight. Bought the 35 amp 18650. He recommends that light is unfucking real. Candela monster, bro. Literally, no joke. Yeah, we own Civivi. Okay, yeah, I didn't remember. Well, I did, but I wasn't sure. So literally, right in front of me, DB Cooper. Bam. This is we call it the cloud killer. Look at that, dude. Just from hitting that vape. Dude, this is nuts. Look at the photonic focus of the beam. This thing is crazy. If you go outside with this 110,000 lumen light from Goombeam, by the way, there's also a link in the description of this video, and you can use code DARK. DB Cooper, I don't know if you did, but if you use the link and code DARK, you save, I don't remember, but you save a good amount. If you go outside and you hold this up into the light, into the sky, the light beam that you see, just the focus of the beam going up to the sky is like, do I now own a lightsaber? Like, it is nuts. It is next level shit. So I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you like it. It is fire. Zanti Misfit. Video of guy hammering tack knife into log, beat the crap out of it, still worked. Nice. So I actually I forgot, like maybe like a week or two ago, I opened the cheap, like, so these are usually $50, but they were on sale for $39 on tack knives. And you could use code DARK again to get 20% off beyond the $39. Like, it's crazy at that point. It's the cost of a Lightning OTF. And I took it and I was saying that, like, the number one enemy of knives, especially these like 440 carbon steel blades, is cardboard and tape. So I took a box that was literally completely like covered, at least in the seams of tape, and I just started. It's actually down there, but out of fear of grabbing it and having my address on it or something, I'm not going to touch it. And I literally stabbed it like 150 times. I was just going to town on it. And obviously that's, it's not like a durability test, but you know, these honestly, these got a good reputation for what they are and for the price. I will say though, I have another company that I purchased. Okay, nobody's just over here sending shit for free. I purchased 3 knives from another company, another well-known company that has the word tech in their names, and they hand make their shit. So when you order something, they take, the body, and then they take the blade, and then they take the guts, the screws, and the hardware and all that shit, and then they literally hand fit it together, right? And, I bought 3 of their knives. One of them is I don't have the Microtech stitch with me. One of them is like the stitch where it's a side opening auto. The other one is a very rare knife that they use, a rare stone. So they actually put I forgot what the stone is called. It's like a bluish, like turquoise-ish kind of color, and then they have the stone inlaid in the firing button and also inlaid in the body and the aluminum, and then also inlaid in like the area there, and it is all white and silver, and then all the hardware is blue on it, and then it's got a blue glass breaker and a blue pocket clip. That shit is gonna look fire. I cannot wait for that to come. And then also I got they have fixed blades actually, and this little shit is a badass punch dagger with a Kydex rig, and it's so tiny. You could just find some dead space on your belt and just clip it there, and boom, have a little blade that you can grab from either side if you need to, just somewhere on your belt that isn't taken up by that. But anyway, so I'm going to be throwing some of this shit in. If you guys aren't also subscribed to Tactical Turkeys, they're doing a huge giveaway. They're giving away a rifle from Samurai. They're giving away a rifle from Surplus Army. Then they're giving away 1,000 rounds of 9 mil. Then they have another 1,000 rounds of 9 mil. Then they're doing another 1,000 rounds of 5.56 to the person that wins the first rifle. And that's MD Arsenal. And then MD Arsenal is giving away another 1,000 rounds of 5.56 to the person that wins the other rifle. And I'm also including a DLD gift bag, gift box, gift mystery box that they said, hey, let's not say what's in it because we don't know what state the person is in. And y'all know the kind of stuff that I'm into. So I got a little gift box that I'm putting together for one of the winners. So they're gonna pull like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 winners for a huge giveaway because they just hit 200,000 subscribers. So that's dope. Let me see what else we talking about here. Whoop that trick. Get him. Looking for a light for my echelon. How's the Goon Beam? Already have the assault and EDC. How does it compare? Honestly, I got one Goon Beam V2 short on my bedside gun, which is a Glock 17 Gen 3. I have another Goon Beam EDC on another Glock that's in that safe, or no, that's in that safe. And then I have another Goon Beam V2 short on a P80 that I keep in my other safe. And my my experience with their pistol light has been awesome. Like a lot of times I end up taking off my TLR 1HL and putting on a Goon Beam because they work with the same equipment, the same gear, holsters, and all that shit. But I can't touch it. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Hold on, I'll just use my Goon Beam. Okay, no, you can't see. You might be able to see. So for anyone there, this is my 19X, and that is the TLR1HL, but it is, I got a Cordura wrap around it. So because I'm a little like freaking baby when it comes to matching stuff, I have that on my 19X because it matches the flat dark earth. It's actually multicam, but it's got a lot of tan in it and it matches. Okay, let's see. Will that trick get him? Yeah, but I would highly recommend it. I the rifle light that I've got for all every time you see me post a video from training, from classes at the shooting range and all that shit for the past like 2 years, the the light that has been on my main rifle that I've put through honestly, I can't say over the last 2 years, thousands and thousands of rounds. That light has been a goon beam, and I've beat the shit out of it. I have given it no mercy. I've treated it no differently than a Streamlight or a Surefire, and that thing has been solid. And I've only recharged the battery like 3 or 4 times. And I probably didn't even need to. Goon goon. Goon beam it is then. Yeah, and if you do choose to do goon beam, which I'd recommend, um, the uh, the link is in the description. And if you use code DARK, you save money and you support the channel as well. The only thing I would say that I've actually talked to Goon Beam about this, and shout out Goon Beam if you're out there, we love you. The only thing I would say as far as like the difference is because it's a you know, essentially it's in a body that's like a knockoff of a TLR 1HL, right? Um, the hardware for the thumb screw that you use, usually I grab like a penny. You can also use like the casing of a cartridge, right, to spin it in. Um, it doesn't feel as solid as the steel in like the TLR1HL. But we've talked about that. It's still solid. I've never had one fail or back out or become unscrewed or anything at all. But I just kind of feel like it's not as solid, but it's also not as solid as a light that is way more expensive and nowhere near as powerful. Like the Goonbeam pistol light, I can go grab one if you want me to. Um, I know I have one somewhere around here. Let me know if you want me to grab it. The thing about pistol lights is that like Candela is great, especially with rifle lights, right? Because the purpose of this light, you see how much photonic focus is in the center of the beam. You want to use that to be able to identify targets at a longer range, right? You want to be able to, you know, cook an egg with this candela. I'm just kidding. But that's not the case for pistol lights, right? There has to be a balance of, you know, flood or spill and enough candela for very, very clear focus at who knows, you may have to use a pistol within 100 yards, right? It's most likely that you won't be that far out, but if you did, you want to be able to, you know, be certain that you're identifying your target, right? Or that they're holding a gun and not a cell phone. Oh God, I got to show you guys this video. So a couple other things before we wrap up. I need. Sorry, I'm getting totally sidetracked here. This is why I love just talking shit to y'all. Um, so this, I'll post this, or I'll pull this up real quickly. Okay, that's downloaded. So I will. Okay, so this is the other one. Hang on, y'all. Right. Oh, snap. Okay, so I'll pull this up. So this is the other picture that I wanted to pull up while we were chatting earlier. This is this the one? Okay, so that's the one with the donut ring and the 4 ported holes blowing that shite out of there. But this is the other one here. This is a cool ass picture. Check this shit out. So literally looking down the sight, looking through the optic, it is blowing a fireball like 6 to 8 inches up in the air. It is crazy. This thing is a blast to shoot. And I'm telling you, bro, the shit doesn't like it barely moves. Joe Morris, I might be able to for a little bit, but I'm gonna have to crash too. I gotta wake up pretty early tomorrow. Goonbeam is the Larry Bird of Candela Spill. Exceptional but underrated. Facts. Facts. All right, let me get this. And then just so I can pull this up for a second. Oh man, I can't believe I still have that pulled up. Boom, 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 boom. So this is the new build more guns, which I'm gonna call it. So this will be the DLD sticker. I'm probably gonna be passing these out at Iraq Veteran 8888. I'll be out there in 2 weeks. And Bob, I know I saw you mentioning earlier that um, Oaks in Pennsylvania in October. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that as well. I would love to because I just found out that Surplus Army is also located in Pennsylvania too, and they're like 20 minutes from where the Oaks Gun Show is held. So I would love to come out there, hang out with y'all, and then also be able to go see Surplus Army too. That'd be dope. But shout out to Sport Brand for putting this together. Like Sport Brand is the man when it comes to like this kind of stuff. Like he made that tactical Pepe. Like I told him, I was like, dude, I want a Pepe with nods and an AR and a PEC and a can on it. And he was like, yep, done. Say less. Boom, boom, boom. Knocked it out. And then I put together the other build more guns and the DLD hardware stuff. That's why that doesn't look as cool. Because I'm not that good at that stuff. All right, hang on. So take that, move that. All right, so where is the whatchamacallit I wanted to show you guys? I actually pulled this up. Yes, okay. So we'll take that down. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. All right, we'll take that, download it. We'll take this and download it. We'll take this and download it. Now I'm hoping that this doesn't give me a strike, but look, we're about truth, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I saw this, and of course I knew that this was an issue. I knew that this was a problem. And I know that we're talking about a level of government corruption that is just like indescribable. Like you can't even describe it, right? Um, Ukraine has been a money laundering operation this entire time. Now, it's a money laundering operation with a lot of people's lives on the line, and it's a money laundering operation with a lot of people's lives on the line that also could involve us in a literal world war. Okay. And who knows? Maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's the plan, right? But check this shit out. So I saw this, and when I started looking through it, I was like, bro, that is sickening. And no, it's not the picture with the Ukrainian soldier holding a Keltec sub 2000. This is different. Okay, so here we go. So clearly you can see that this says, how much have we given to Ukraine? All right, let me space these images out. Oh, what does that mean, Dark? That there are multiple images? Yes. How much have we given to Ukraine? I need some nicotine for this, boys. Hang on. First installment, February 20th, 2023, 500 million doll hairs. Now, of course, this is all fake money, blood money. And the first thought I had was, how much are they getting back? Right? 10% for the big guy. 3 days later, $500 million. 3 days later, February 23rd, 2023, $10 billion. 1 day later, February 24th, $2 billion. Then a week and some change later, March the 3rd, $400 million. March 20th, $350 million. April 4th, 23, $2.6 billion. April 19th, $325 million. May 8th, $1.2 billion. Okay, so that's one. All right, now hang on. Yes, there are multiple. I know. What is that? Boom. Okay. May the 18th, 2023. 3 billion with a B. $3 billion. 5/19, as in tomorrow, the next day, $375 million. Same day, $40 billion. 5/31, a week and some like 11 days later, $300 million. June 9th, $2.1 billion. June 13th, $325 million. June 16th, $205 million. June 20th, 4 days later, $6.2 billion. Now that was the oopsies. That was the oops, right? June 26th, $500 million. July 7th, $800 million. Okay. Oh, that's just the second one. That's just the second one. Don't worry. There's more. Okay, then we pull this up. July the 18th, $1.3 billion with a B. July 21st, $400 million. That's 3 days later. Okay. Then almost a month later, August the 13th, $13 billion with a B. August the 15th, 2 days later, $200 million. August the 29th, $250 million. September the 5th, yes, we're talking 2 weeks ago, $125 million. September the 6th, $1 billion. September the 7th, $600 million. And unfortunately, much more to come. Look, if this isn't the biggest governmental scam of them just washing money and then rinsing and repeating and taking over and over and over, I don't know what it is, bro, because we're at a point where it's not even worth getting into it. This is a disaster. Our country is literally falling to pieces, and all they're doing is throwing, billions and billions and billions of dollars at Ukraine. Gerchop, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Ukrizzle is going to lose, SA. Bro, I have never, ever thought that there was any hope. And we could do anything and everything that we want to help. But, bro, it's not. They're not there to have a fight to win or lose, right? This is a money-making operation. So, if this were legit, if this were a legit war, the moment that we offered lethal support, which we did almost immediately, it would have been popping off Jump Street, no question. We're in a situation right now where they are literally just funneling money through to find a way to just kind of catch the breadcrumbs falling off the table and hope that nobody notices. I don't know, but it's disgusting. Planned destruction of the United States of America. Yep, look at us now. Bidenomics. Oh man, such a disgusting thing. Gerchop, well, yeah, when the funding runs out, it'll never run out. They'll keep doing it. They know the economy is tanking. They are pocketing as much as they can. But what is it pocketing? What? Fiat currency that literally symbolizes nothing. And they're looking at, the most rapid way to transition to a central bank digital currency. Like, I don't even know what our future is going to look like. I especially don't know what our future is going to look like for our children. Like, Man, I don't know. I would much, much rather fight and live through terrible times than have my daughter have to fight and live through terrible times. It's unfortunate that we're in this situation, but look, you know, I was making a reel on Instagram today, and I put up um one of the, I didn't even get to post it yet. I put up a whatchamacallit, like a poll, right? And it was like question 1, your government loves you and wants you alive. And it's like question 2, your government hates you and wants you dead. And question 3, like none of the above, right? What do you guys truly, what do you really think is true? We need to stop Bitcoin. It'll end us, SA. Bro, Bitcoin is just not even part of this. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to you. I'm just saying that they're it's completely disconnected from what they're doing, but and honestly, I think Bitcoin is probably a gov op anyway, you know. Um Yeah, I don't know. But what I do know is that it is dangerous for people like us that truly believe in freedom, independence, and liberty. And for people like us, it's important that we prepare in every single way possible. Don't live in fear, right? Don't live in fear. Don't be paranoid, but be prepared in every single possible way that you can. Don't compromise on your life and the quality of life that you have for you and your family, right? But always be of mind of freedom and independence and liberty, and do whatever you have to do to get to that point, right? Know that the best thing to do is to create a lifestyle where you actually have, like, I remember the first time, like, I realized, oh my god, like, water falls out of the sky and food grows from the ground. And like, the on the inside of my bicep, it says the Lord will provide, right? And I truly believe that the Lord will provide. Our lives are designed for God to provide everything for us, right? And then of course, he's not gonna, field dress your hunt for you, right? But like, the reality is that we have taken all of the gifts that have been given to us and literally spat in the face of our maker and said, fuck you, we want a more. Yeah, I mean, our life is completely entrenched in, consumerism and convenience, and it's just brought us to this disgusting fucking place of where we are, to where even the people that are the elites are stealing money from themselves. Like, what the fuck? This doesn't even make sense. It's they've got all the money that they need, so now it's power. So they're just going to do everything they can to flex to get power. How about this battle worn mag though? Ayo, ayo. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up on that. God feeds the crows. Facts. No cash, no freedom. Even then, bartering, right? Being able to, like, having tangible skills that you can use to create something to then barter with somebody else. Or like when people say, like, Dark, why do you have over 30 Glocks? Like, that's crazy. Well, you know what? I may need to use them as currency one day, right? Or I may need to equip, 33 homeless people with semi-automatic 9 millimeters for my homeless person army. Okay. I'm, of course, completely joking about that. I'm just saying though, like, that is currency, right? Being able to build firearms, being able to build firearms from nothing, or having the items and things that you need to build firearms. Firearms will always be of value, but remember, your toys will not work without batteries. So make sure you have your ammunition. Personally, I use DLD After Dark. Preach. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate all you guys, man. I fucking love y'all, man. You guys are like, this is a plan in motion since 1954, bro. Yeah, yeah. Maybe even much before that. Maybe even hundreds of years before that. Maybe the plan just keeps elevating and getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, I love y'all. The reason I come back here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I know I miss a couple here and there, right? But the reason I come back here is because of y'all, right? Somebody left this comment. They went on like one of the videos I did like 2 years ago. It was a video on JSD supply stuff. And they were like, ugh, you love the sound of your own voice, don't you? You just love hearing yourself talk, don't you? Ugh, unbearable. I was like, you will love my 3-hour live streams, bro. um, people are just shitty, right? Like that everyone is unhappy. Everyone is fucking depressed and has anxiety and, not kids or growing up feeling the same types of things. And like, you know, the last 3.5 years or so has done a number on us as a society. And not to mention all the other fuckery, all the government fuckery, all the scams and plans like like you're hated, right? If you are a military age male and you are of, the type of person like us that thinks like I am a freedom absolutist. I believe in freedom, independence, and liberty, and I believe in, the right to choose. And you do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting other people. And if you do hurt other people, guess what? I believe in the freedom of them to be able to freaking forcibly remove you from the gene pool, right? Freedom. Okay. Freedom is dangerous. And yeah, I don't know. We're just in a completely different place. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But anyway, here's what I believe. I believe that um, we're probably in the most dangerous place we have ever been. And it's important for me to tell anyone that will listen and everyone that we need to prepare in every possible way that we can, right? Everything from obviously the things that are most obvious: water, food, shelter, security. Any of those things that you can make a renewable resource that constantly gives to you, that would be great, right? But we can't all just become farmers and, homesteaders, right? If the only option you have is to prepare into cache and stash stuff, and I mean that's I love to hear you talk, Dark. Thank you. That's the funny thing too. It's like, do you come to YouTube to watch silent channels, bro? Like, what are you talking about? But that's the thing. Like, being able to come here and talk about shit like this, like that's important. If somebody comes and they matter of fact, if you guys want, go back to that video from like 2 years ago where it's like JSD supply slides. I'm just talking about like Glocks and Glock slides and shit like that, and tear his ass up. Be like, bro, be kind, right? Like, that's the rules, right? And those people that aren't kind, unbearable. Fuck off, dude. Um, the people that don't follow those rules, their lives will be negatively impacted. I promise you. I promise you. Be kind, right? You never know that brief moment. Okay. Here's the thing. All of these rules that I end each live stream with, okay, there's a reason that every single one of those things are in there. And for people that have been here since the literal beginning, right? At first, it was like just be kind and whatever. Then it started evolving, right? Because I had been in situations where, I didn't really listen to people. Okay, I had a friend that came to me and he told me something, and I wasn't psychologically like available to him, and he killed himself. I was not kind to him. I was not listening to him. I was in front of him. My ears heard the words that he said, but I wasn't listening to him, right? And he killed himself. He's gone forever. He hung himself actually in a very, very impressive way. Um, and I I I loved him. Dude, he was like one of my best friends. And he was struggling with substance abuse and he was struggling with opiates and he was facing a serious charge. And if he did that charge, not only would he have to do years in jail, but he'd have to kick in jail. He'd have to kick a serious heroin habit. And this is back when, way, way back when, but way back, way past the statute of limitations for anything I'm talking about, um, for drug usage and stuff like that. But um, everything that I say comes from somewhere and it comes from a lesson, right? The way I look at things is like there's no failure in life. There's only like opportunities to learn lessons. So when I say things like be kind, it's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. I'm telling you, you could be walking past somebody that is literally on the way to blow their head off with a shotgun, and you could restore their faith in humanity by being kind to them, right? Like we're put on this earth to do good, to do positive things, to impact our people positively. And by our people, I mean all human beings, not people that think like us, not ignoring the opposing side. Do kind things to them, to be kind to everyone, but also don't be a fool. Be kind, but don't spite yourself being kind, right? Be kind, but be a warrior. Be kind and be ready to open a mofo's throat in 2 seconds if you need to. Of course, only in the preservation of your life or innocent life, okay? Other innocent life. But there's a difference between, you know, being kind and being a fool. There's two different things. Fool me once, can't get fooled again. Sorry, George Bush. You're a piece of shit too, George Bush. But that's why I like that, you know, that I say things like that. Another thing, rule number 2 is live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you give to others, you become blessed. When you bless others, you become blessed because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. If you create an environment of giving and you give to people and you contribute to people, guess what happens? You become a leader and people follow what you do. They look at you lead and they watch what you do. And what do they see you do? They see you being kind and they see you contributing to others and giving despite what your needs are, despite where you are, without thinking of self. I'm giving and I'm contributing to others. You will make a massive impact on the world. Even if it's your little world, just here, right? The world is this big, but you made an impact here. Bro, you're doing more than most people do in a lifetime, in a week, right? Of course, we know rule number 3, right? The only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. So make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. Be the good warrior, be the kind warrior, right? It's just like they say, you know, the whole garden and gardener and the warrior and the war, blah, blah, blah. Same kind of thing, right? But know that it's good versus evil. And this fight really, really is good versus evil. Okay. I mean, they want our children. They want us. They want us military age males that are armed that will not comply dead. Dead. Not out of our way. Not we want to change the way they think. Dead. No exaggeration. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm not paying attention to chat right now. I'm not being a good listener. The other thing is I want to inspire people to train, right? What good is all this shit if we're not running our guns? What good is all this shit if we're not pushing our equipment to, you know, to the fullest extent that we can? How do we know when our gun's going to fail if you haven't pushed it to that point, right? Like that is our responsibility as dirty civilians. That is our responsibility, right? So, in summation, I'll bring it here. Murphy's Law, you nailed it. And also remember that the government hates you and wants you dead. You nailed it. Be good, ET. Be kind, Dark. There you go. So, in closing, I had my favorite one in front of me the whole night. I didn't even bust it out. Be kind, okay? Actually, hold on. Before I hit there, I'll hit the rules in a second, then we're going to close out. Okay. And I love all you guys. I truly do. I care about all of you and I want you all to do well. And I want each of you to be leaders where you are, leaders in your family, leaders in your community, leaders at your job, leaders at whatever. You don't need a title to be a leader. You don't need a salary to be a leader. You don't need anything other than you just if you're just naturally one of those people that generally speaking people look up to and follow, you're a leader, right? People look at you, even if it's just your kids. People look at you, just go be good people and be leaders, right? I should probably stop vaping. I know it's bad. Anyway, wrapping all that up, we'll go ahead and close with the rules and we'll keep it moving. I will be going to the Iraq veteran shoot in about 2 weeks. And I'm going to be doing, maybe I'll do a giveaway from there, like while we're there. I may not, I'm not going to be able to send the shit out while I'm there, but maybe we'll do it from there. But I hope just something that I shared with you guys made just the slightest impact or provoked just a little bit of thought so everyone can even if you know, right? Even if you already know, even if you got this shit down, if you can then go encourage someone else in a positive way and encourage them to be a leader in their world, in their community and all that, like this, we need strong men that are willing to care for others, love others, and fight like a motherfucker if we have to. But of course, we don't want to, right? I have no desire to fight, but I will fucking lay shit down if I have to. And Lord knows I don't want to. But also, in the end, support the companies that support us too, right? Like we've had so much contribution from these other companies, like Tack Knives, for an example. These guys are awesome. If you use code DARK, you get 20% off. And I'm not trying to just shill. I'm just saying we need to support the people that are supporting us, right? So Goonbeam, right? Everything is in the description below. Goonbeam, they're awesome. Anytime you support these companies, you also support the channel. Goonbeam, Tack Knives. Use code DARK for either one of them. You save money. You save 20% with Tack Knives. And for anyone that was looking at the like OTF knives I was rocking, these are all Tack Knives from them, and they're awesome. Even the $39 special. Goonbeam, Tack Knives, Gideon Optics, right? They've been awesome. And this, even though it's large, Toy Town Inc. called me out for it. I'm going to be rocking that enclosed emitter joint on the hopefully if I find the freaking slide that somebody hopefully didn't steal and then it's just sitting in the wrong box. We'll see, because I'm not trying to take that $450 L, but we'll see. Fuck money anyway, right? That is the government's tool to kill us. Money. The government's tool to force us to live a life that makes us leave our children all day, pay thousands of dollars for strangers to take our children, to program them for us to just be able to afford to live and afford to, just scrape by. Man, it's what type of they totally pulled the wool over all of our eyes. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Alas, we are here. So, okay. So, in the end, AR Takedown Tool has also been very supportive. They've helped with the ammunition that you guys have seen me go shoot. Not all the ammunition, right? But they've helped. They've supported as well. So, AR Takedown Tool has literally some of the best tools for ARs, Glock building, and shit like that. They're the punches that have the captured spring in there too. So it's like a hammer and a punch in one. Also, Aegis Gun Care. Oh my God, Aegis has been incredible. And actually, I got some of their stuff right here. Oh, don't drop 10 millimeter. Aegis Gun Care, man, these guys are awesome. Their products are awesome, and this is literally the only gun cleaning product that I'll use moving forward. Aegis Gun Care is the shit. Dudley, if you're out there, Dudley, hey, Vanessa Kitty, good to see you. Dudley, I dropped off a pouch of Aegis for you because I believe it is the best gun cleaning stuff in the world. And I wanted you to be able to try it, and hopefully you could carry that at your store, and that'll help Aegis. I don't get anything from it. I just want to be kind and contribute to others. See how that works? Also, who else? I know I'm forgetting people. Oh, Angry Bear Arms. Dude, Angry Bear Arms has been incredible. Dude, their sights, bro, Their sites are nuts, and they're like sub $50 for tritium hackathorn style sights for Glocks. Like, what? And again, I don't get anything from them. I'm just saying, like, these are people that are just like a Strike Industries. Dude, Strike Industries sent me their 43X light slide. That is fire. Love it. Um, just all these companies, man, they've been so good. They've been so good, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all y'all. And you guys are my second family. I'm back. Battery died. Live life. What's up, brother? But in closing, look, we cannot change what's going on in the world. We can only change what is going on within ourselves. We can change how we act, how we react, how we treat others, and we can be leaders within our families, within our communities, within the things that we can directly impact. That's all we can control. So before you make decisions, before you speak, before you just think like, who am I choosing to be right now? Ask yourself that question. Who am I choosing to be right now? And I promise you, you will make more wise decisions and you'll be a better person. And that's all I want. I want to be able to have a platform where I can help people become better, including myself, because I grow and develop too when we do shit like this. And LOL, I teach math. um, Finding happiness in life gives the chance for others to find it. The best warriors seek to end wars to find peace. Beautifully said, Sport Brain. Beautifully said. Oh man. But yeah, just ask yourself that question before you do things or before you choose not to do things, right? Ask yourself that question. Who am I choosing to be? Who am I going to choose to be? Who do you want to be? Do you have standards for yourself? Do you have rules for yourself? Do you do you project those standards and rules onto the people you care about and love, like your children, family members, your wife, your husband, your whatever? I'll tell you what, I there's things that I fail at all the time. I failed at marriage. I very, very successfully failed at marriage, and it's okay. And it's okay. Um, and although I'm still lawfully married, and of course have no intention of, breaking what I believe to be the sacred sanctity of marriage, um, I met a really cool friend, and that's dope because cool friends are good to have. Um, and she's named after a machine gun. So that's fucking awesome. Anyway, I shouldn't talk about anything like that. Anyway, but guys, look, I love all y'all. I appreciate all you guys so much. All the support, all the love. Even you guys hitting me up and being like, "Yo, Dark, do you have a PSA link? I'm going to buy something from PSA or from Brownells or from Mira Safety or from Bear Creek Arsenal or from wherever. Do you have a code or a link or whatever?" That shit helps so much. So thank you guys. Damian Christ, Kurt, Mike, I mean, all you guys, I'm Anthony, all you guys have hit me up and I appreciate that. And I'm forgetting people and I'm so sorry. Tim Harper, bro. Tim Harp, I know, Fluffy. I know, bro. I know. Um, yeah. And it's like her legit name, bro. She may even be watching. So I don't want to say too much. Um, she's so fucking base too. She's, you know, just chill and anyway, and look, I don't I don't have any intention of breaking that sanctity of marriage, but if somebody else, if the other half is choosing to, break that, then hey, I'm just an unwilling participant in a terrible situation. But you know what? I'm always going to be there for my daughter, literally always, unless I am physically removed from this earth. I will always be there for her. Anyone else, you get the bare minimum of what to expect with me. I'll be kind. I'll contribute to you. It just may be limited. But yeah. The other thing, and then after this we'll call it. All right. Sorry guys. You guys are getting the extended version tonight. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Somebody hit me up and they were like, I noticed you were talking about DLD hardware an awful lot. Do people even buy jigs anymore? Okay. Hold up. Hey, your name, member for 6 months. This is old, but if it still works, be kind. Use good lube. That's also kind. Oh my God, Ecorizer. That's a sign. Or she's a Fed. She's fully vetted. Fully vetted. Thank you, Dark. Thank you, Damien Grace. I appreciate you. These situations we're in will bring out the worst in some people. It will also bring out the best in some. You get to decide what you will be. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is not a gaper, but the VC portal is opening. Proceed with caution, but all are welcome. So he's talking about voice chat in my Discord server, which I got to be honest, I have not even been in my own Discord server in like 6 months. I'm a terrible person for that and should be punished. But doesn't mean I love y'all any less, man. I love y'all. Fluffy Bunny, Dark, I've been there, bro. Same. Thoughts and prayers, my friend. It can be tough, especially the kids. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. So the people that have been like, Dark, are people even buying jigs anymore? And this is not to say like, oh man, business is booming. I'm doing so great. I'm just saying, yes. The answer to your question is yes. Are people even buying jigs, bro? Yes. I don't know if you can see this. This is like what I threw away like 100 of them because Jesus Christ, it is so hard to throw away P80 boxes because like you don't want to show that you're throwing away like hundreds of P80 boxes because if people see them, they're going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? Right. Of course, and I'm only like lawfully doing anything. Right. But breaking them down and putting them in boxes and then sealing them up to throw them away is actually really difficult. So I don't know. It's like over 200. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 27. 28, 29. So what, like 29 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. Okay, Vanessa Kitty, you're a math teacher. What's 29 multiplied by 6? So what, 3, right? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 by 6 is 18. So 180 plus 10. Yeah, so about 200 boxes right there. And then there's about 40 packages going out and build a tiny house out of them shits, bro. You have no idea. Why does it do this? Okay, sorry. You have no idea like all the incredible things that I've thought about doing with these P80 boxes. But by the time they get, so part of it is the P80 brick wall that I've done back here. Like this actually goes like all the way up. It's kind of off center though. And then I started doing the sticker bomb cafe over there. And I also have a patch wall and stuff, but I'm gonna be redoing some stuff in the GAT lab because this is like an office that is exclusively used for GAT lab projects. This is my gun room, and that's it. And I mean I also use it for DLD hardware stuff. So when people place orders, I come in here, I print everything off, I package every order, every single order, like 4,000 orders I have done with my own hands and packaged them up and taken them to the post office by myself because USPS sucks at actually doing pickups when you schedule pickups. I don't know if it's just my hub. The other thing, I had a tidal wave of fraudulent orders come through, and I had to basically over the course of several days, I had to basically go through and verify which ones were legit and which ones were BS. And like got rid of some of them that I knew were fraud and some that, but look, I don't think I have ever, and if anyone out there is disrespected by this, I apologize, but hear me out. I have never, ever had somebody from Allentown, Pennsylvania purchase something from me and it had not been fraud. I don't know what is going on with Allentown, Pennsylvania, but I swear it is like La Crosse, Wisconsin reincarnated. Reincarnate, incarnate, whatever. It's bad. La Crosse, Wisconsin, bad. Full of dirt bags that do dumb shit and steal. Allentown, Pennsylvania, terrible, terrible people. They constantly scam, and people place an order, right? They get the product and then they report it as fraud. They do a chargeback. So I lose the product. Okay. Then they take the money and then I get hit with a fee on top of that. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, here's a picture of him posting it on Facebook using my product, saying that he has it. Here's a question that he sent me via email with my product on his lap that he said he didn't get. And then they still grant him the chargeback. I'm like, what? You guys are literally like you're what do you call it? You're doing good things for liars. What's it called? You're when you do good stuff for somebody instead of bad stuff, not punishment, the opposite of punishment. I don't know. Words are hard right now. It's late. But you're helping like fraud, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, so packages were delayed. People were pissed off. They're like, bro, where's my stuff? Like, this is an Amazon, dog. I cannot get shit out like next day. Usually I'll get it out within a day, maybe two. Okay. Enabling, yeah, that's a good damn Yankees. Allentown is scammers. Bro, I'm about to, you know what? I don't know if you guys know this, but there is no state that I don't ship to on DLD hardware. If you go and look on any other company that's selling jigs, I mean, obviously frames and stuff like that is different, right? But I sell jigs to every state. Okay. I'm not like jigs are unavailable for California, Connecticut, and for whatever. If they're ordering a piece of plastic from me, great. If they choose to break the law, then that's on them. Know your laws and stuff. Okay. And I always say that. Don't break any local, federal, state, laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, sanctions, and ordinances, and all that stuff. Don't do it. Okay. But if they choose to, that's on them. Okay. So even though I don't have one city or state that is banned, I am about to post on my website, will not ship to Allentown, Pennsylvania, because every single order that is ever, and I'm talking about dozens, every single order that has come from Allentown, Pennsylvania, please, somebody from Allentown, speak out. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? Or somebody from Pennsylvania, tell me that, no, there are good people in Allentown, because every single order, anytime ever, Allentown, Pennsylvania, scam, chargeback, or it gets sent back to me, which means that they tried to scam and then they weren't able to go get the package. Oh, sorry. Allentown is scammers. Damn Yankees. It's probably near Kensington. Oof. The dope capital of the East Coast. And Baltimore, too. Baltimore, too, is the dope capital, too. Enabling, I'm assuming I try to avoid Philly. I'm south of Allentown and got scammed for a $1,200 iPad. What? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Check out this bazaar. I'm in PA. Some are good if you go to a massage parlor. What? What kind of good we talking about, bro? What if there aren't? What if Allentown is one big scammer call center? Bro, okay, so it's funny that you say that. So I literally had to stop and be like, okay, all right, so my average transaction is like $40. Each jig with shipping is $33.36. Okay. It's not a big ticket item, but I'm doing this just to help people. I don't make a bunch of money on it. I'm sure you guys know that I'm not like making a killing on selling pieces of plastic, right? But I mean, on some of the 3D printed stuff, yeah, I make more, but I also don't make shit on the polymer 80 jigs, so it just kind of balances out. And the time and energy that I put into printing everything and then packaging everything and then shipping it and then physically taking it to ship it and all that, because USPS always doesn't do the pickup when they say they're going to do it and stuff. It made me think, how did I get this tidal wave of fraudulent orders, right? I go on my stream and I'm like, DLD hardware, right? If you need to build, if you're building a gun, if you're building a Glock, if you're building something, go to DLD hardware. You can buy jigs, you can buy tools, da 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 da. Okay, then all of a sudden I get like this this tidal wave of fraudulent orders. I'm like, yo, are they like all on like a message board or like a forum, and they're all talking like, yo, DLD hardware is just one dude and he barely has any time in the day to do anything, so let's all order from him and then we'll all do chargebacks. Tee hee hee. Like, what are they doing? What is this? It's crazy. Late night live chat making up for Saturday, for sure, for sure. Dorney Park is the thing good about Allentown now. I don't know anything about that, but I'll take your word for it. There has to be a group or thread where they're spreading the information 100%. But now, bro, I got the doozy now, okay? So one of the other ways that people scam is they place an order, okay? Then when they place an order, I get it, I fill it, I fulfill it, and then I package it up and then ship it out, right? And I usually ship it within a day, sometimes 2, right? Recently, I was like 5 business days behind. That is not normal, okay? And y'all know that. And because sometimes like I'll be busy throughout the whole day, right? And then in the evening, I'll do all my packages. But if I have a stream, I can't do all the packages, right? So I'll have to do it the next day or whatever. Anyway, so they'll place an order, right? And then I'll package it up, I'll fulfill it, I'll ship it out to them, and then they'll get it, and then they'll hit me up and say, this says delivered, and I didn't get it, right? Now, what I used to do is, okay, no problem. How about this? I'll go ahead and I'll eat the cost, okay? I'll get you a new shipping label. I'll eat the cost of that. And then I'll send you a new jig, no charge. Boom, eat the cost of that too. Eat the cost of shipping, the product, the packaging, and all that shit. Boom, send it out. No question, okay? But then it kept happening, and it kept happening, and it kept happening. Then I came across a company, and I was like, I wonder what they'll say. So it was actually an expensive order. I placed an order, and I got the order delivered by UPS. But so it was actually, it's a little different how it happened. So I was tracking it via UPS because I thought I had to sign for it. It said signature verification. And then as I was tracking it throughout the day, it said delivered. And then I was like, what? No, it's not delivered. I'm here. Like, it's not here. It said delivered at side door. I'm like, bro, I'm in a townhouse. I got a front door and a back door. I ain't got no side door. So I'm like, oh my gosh, something must be wrong. Okay. So I email the company and I'm like, hey, it says delivered. It was like a nutrient survival or like something like that. It was a bunch of, I mean, it was a decent amount of money of survival food, right? So I hit them up. I'm like, yo, it says delivered. I didn't get it, right? Their response was golden. Now it ended up coming like within, 20, 30 minutes of me sending that email. But I was like, I'm going to take what they said and use it for when people hit me up, right? So they sent me an email and it was like, Mr. DLD, we're so sorry to hear that, blah, blah, blah. We're going to start the process. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'll read it to y'all because it makes you feel like super uncomfortable. I think I saved it as dirtbag didn't get package. Hold on. Package never delivered. Hello. Thank you for your email. I looked into your order, and per the USPS website, it appears that order number DLD for was delivered on X date at, and then I'll quote the USPS website, in/at the mailbox at 4:44 p.m. at address. See screenshot attached. I'm happy to to help start filling out a package theft report to start the process of reshipping your order. Before I can get that processed, could a friend or a family member or a trusted neighbor have picked up the package? I also want to make sure that we have the best contact information for you so the USPS fraud investigation team will be able to contact you directly and verify that the order was not delivered to you and is indeed missing. What is the best number to reach you at? Also, please send a copy of your current driver's license. I will keep a lookout for your reply and hopefully we can expedite this process for you. Bro, literally copied that, took it, and I started using it. Every single person that hit me up, like, bro, my shit says deliver. This motherfucker ain't even here. And they type like that, dog. I'm the people that scam are literally like, dog, my shit ain't even here. I'm like, bro, have some professionalism, okay? Anyway, but I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying they they be talking like that. The people, not they. I'm just saying the people, whatever. Anyway, so every single person that's hit me up, like, yo, this shit says delivered and that shit ain't here, bro. Boom, send that email, never hear from them again. You're like, okay, hold up. I gotta send you a copy of my driver's license and my cell phone number, and you're gonna have the USPS fraud investigation team do something. They don't want no part of that shit. But the person that did actually have their, like, I'm just saying right now, I'm dealing with a package that's gone, right? A $450 package of Glock parts, right? That is genuinely missing. And if I got hit up by a company that was like, okay, we're so sorry to hear about that. Send me a picture of your driver's license and send me, your cell phone number and address, and then we'll start the process. Bet. Let's do it right now. I got nothing to hide. So I'm gonna send that shit to you early, no question. But the people that do have something to hide, that do have it, there was also another piece in there that was added on the company's email that was like, um, we have a way of contacting the mail carrier to personally ask him, like that kind of thing. And I was like, ooh, that's good, but that's also it's a little too much. I'm gonna need your social security number to make sure you're not AI. They found out they could do chargebacks because the card companies were trying to squeeze gun sales. Yeah, ghetto. The Postal Service always says delivered before it arrives. There's a reason for that, especially with UPS and FedEx. So around Christmas time, you'll see it too. One of the things that they do is they're bonused off of their volume of deliveries. So, and I don't know if this is still going on, but if they did like their whole truck full of deliveries within like that business day, they get their bonuses. So what they'll do is they'll scan like the whole shit, the whole truck, right? And then you'll see it like delivered at like 7 a.m. the next day, or like 5:30 a.m. or like 2 p.m. the next day, randomly. It's because they do that to get bonuses, usually seasonal bonuses. Most companies on the S&P 500 only make 2 to 5% profit margin on paper, mainly to avoid the taxes that on paper. That's the way to do it. Yeah, right. Oh, sorry, it's here. Yep. Found it. It was under my stoop, you know. They scan the items before the delivery. Yep, 100%. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up, y'all. I just want to say again that I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm sorry, I get on little tangents from time to time, and I get on my like be a good peace person and be, a peaceful warrior and be a leader and be this and that. It's because I want everyone to live a good, positive life, to be a kind person, but also be a person that can turn into a fucking animal like that if they need to, only for the preservation of innocent life and only for the preservation of your own life. That's all I'm saying. And anyway, in closing, I love all you guys. I appreciate the support. You guys make such a difference. You have no idea how much of an impact you make. And if you guys do have an opportunity to, if you could go through the description, if there is anything that you guys want to purchase that would help you, but also help me in the channel, you can go through the description and it'll help both of us. You'll save money and you'll contribute to the channel as well. Off the platform, off of YouTube, if you guys have like Rusty, what's up, brother? Missed the show, but y'all have a good night. Appreciate that, Rusty. Thank you for stopping by. Also, yeah, you know what I would say, Rusty, I would say go back and listen. You know, rarely would I say you should listen to me, but in this case, I would say it was a good show. We had Marine Gun Builder on, and then we had a little dark rant, and then you know, that's where we are. Plus, I met a machine gun, but you'll hear that in the rerun. Yeah, PSA, Bear Creek Arsenal, Mira Safety, Brownells, you know, anything like that, I could give you potentially a code. PSA, I don't have a code for. I just got a code from Brownells, and also just anything you guys are shopping for, hit me up. I may have a link or a code, and you can do that on Instagram, DLD After Dark with underscores in between it, and also you can email me too. And my shit's all over the place. Y'all know. I appreciate that, Fluffy Bunny. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. But anyway, in the end, all we got is rules, right? The rules that we choose to live by. Rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. Stay strapped or get clapped. But I'll leave that up to you guys. Remember, I am doing some giveaways. If you leave a comment after this post, leave something funny, and then this is my entry. This is my entry. 4 words. If you leave 4 words and then something funny, you know, an eggplant emoji, draw a dick or boobs, or, you know, something to, I don't know, just do something, or just say like skinnamarink dinky dink, and then this is my entry. I'll be using comments to do the random generator to pick people for the giveaways, and I'll be doing all sorts of stuff. I'll do, you know what? I may give this one away. This is the Damascus katana. It's not real Damascus, you know what I'm saying? But because I got some more auto knives coming in, I may grab some stuff for giveaways. Man, I don't think I could ever give this one away. But man, these are so crispy on the action, bro. These things fire like bam. Man, I love it. But I got other things too, man, and I got frames and jigs and parts and magazines and all this shit that I don't need. So part of it, I wanna throw up a little kit. And me, ooh, you know what? Dark, you're genius. What if I got North Coast Tactical to sponsor a giveaway with a tuck holster? Tuck holster. You know what? Put your EDC in the comment too. And whatever is the most, if it's a Glock 19, SIG 365, 43X, 43, or if you carry like Vanessa, I know carries a freaking 6-shot 44 Magnum. She's, you know, it's Vanessa, right? But like whatever your EDC is, put it in there, and whatever the most popular one is, I'll ask them if they'll contribute a tuck holster for the man. If you've seen my shit's fire, that's on my Instagram too. Yeah, Silverback, hit me up, man. I'm sorry, a lot of times too, and I've seen yours, your messages, and Mike McClune and Kurt. Sometimes my DMs are so flooded. If I don't see it like right when it comes through, I'll miss that shit. And when I do, though, I'll literally go back through all the old messages and just boom, 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 just to show you that I'm looking and paying attention. But look, I love y'all so much. I cannot wait for Iraq Veteran Shoot. It's coming up in less than 2 weeks, and it's going to be fire. Your boy's going to be out there crushing it, and I appreciate all y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. All right, take it easy. Peace. Yo, don't forget to comment for the giveaway and did the government say?